Well, stop for a little second and podcast about it. Can you do that for me?
Okay, I'm podcasting.
No, you're not podcasting. You're too busy being a smart aleck to be podcasting. Now I want you to podcast and stop being a smart aleck. Can you try that for me? Hello, everybody, and welcome once more to another episode of Cinema Forecast. I am your host, Alfredo. With me, as always, my co-host, Connor.
Hello.
And here we are, talking about movies out of order. But
That's
wait,
right.
fuck. Wow. I missed it.
What the Welcome to Cinema Forecast?
Well, this is Cinema Forecast, Connor. You're right. And we are the movie podcast where every month we are randomly assigned by the legally distinct movie roulette a category. Attached to said category are 1, 2, 3, you guessed it, 4 movies that we feel fit said category. And each week we go in depth choosing one of those films and talking about it in the context of the category.
That's right, Alfredo.
That's right. We landed it. We wobbled a little bit. We don't got the Harrison Ford moves, you know, but hey, we do our best around here.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive. Movies out of order.
Movies out of order. We got 4 themes.
We got 4 themes.
I mean, you have some additions as well.
I have some
Unlisted.
things. Yes, I do. I have some things.
Perspective changes everything.
Perspective changes everything.
There is a shit ton of that in this, that's for sure. Number 2, butterfly effect. I guess so. I think that that does hold true throughout these out of order movies, where you get to see things out of order and experience the butterfly effect in a unique perspective.
Yeah.
Number 3, details overlooked. Number 4, fate versus free will. I wouldn't say there's much of fate versus free will in this, although there is kind of this vibe of what could be, like, you know, I think of her in the spotlight at the beginning and the end.
There's also that one lady who like lives next door, the like witchy kind of lady who like knocks on the door. She feels kind of a representation
Prophecy.
of like fate
Yeah,
within the story.
that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I was talking about was like, why do you choose to structure your story
Yes.
this way?
I love this point.
And I did a little bit of research on this, and I will admit that I was aided by some artificial intelligence on this.
Oh
but,
my goodness.
But
How dare you?
I was just doing a
Sold
search,
out.
and it fucking gave me these like couple of themes related to this film specifically, and I thought they were cool, so I wanted to shout them out.
Yeah.
One of the things that it talks about, and I think so relevant, several movies we've seen, like all of the movies we've seen, is a dreamlike structure, and how this
Yeah.
that sort of like structure, I think one of the big things that stands out to me is that it starts to like make things so like uncertain, and I think a certain level of uncertainty adds to like these sort of out of order movies. The second thing it talked about is relating to the shifting realities, which is very relevant, obviously, for like this movie. But I felt like, again, with Mirror, also started to feel like it kind of like comes into play.
Yeah.
And with those sort of shifting realities, that also, I feel like the perspective thing comes into
That's
play.
what I was thinking.
Comes
Yeah.
into play with that as well.
It's a mirror, if you would.
We all know we all need mirrors to tell ourselves who we are. One of the things I loved is that it challenges the viewer, and that's something we haven't talked about at all. I was really stoked to see that as like a theme of these kinds of movies. These movies are not holding your hand. These are for like you got your grown-up film watching pants on,
Yeah.
and you are gonna like. And hey, we were grown-ups last week, weren't we?
We
watched
were.
The Mirror.
We
We
were.
watched Art. We watched Art. We watched Art, and we didn't get it, but we watched Art. Okay,
That's right.
We attempted to. We grasped at meaning, which maybe is all life is about, which is maybe what that movie's about.
And I will say it has stuck with me. Like, I have been like thinking about it, like still processing it somewhere in the back of my consciousness.
Very memorable.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a mirror.
Yes.
We all need mirrors to remind us who we are. But yeah, I like that a lot. And I think one of the cool things about this as well, that it said is there's this a logic and this disjointedness to the structure, and along with that is this sort of, through that like disjointedness, this is a sort of reflection on Hollywood, and along with that, if you think about the out of order, the sort of like nonlinear structure, it is sort of a like fuck you to Hollywood, right? In a way where it's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna eschew like the typical like,
this movie's like absolutely rebellious against Hollywood and its
Yeah.
structure in every way.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many things that are hinted at in this movie that really came to light with the Me Too movement, and how much more we know about the entertainment industry. But I think it's like so much of that darkness is like bubbling underneath.
Yeah.
And I think it does a great job.
But so well mixed in with so much humor and like also just moments of awe.
A lot of emotion, a lot of wild, extreme feelings.
Yeah, and speaking of which, our backgrounds with the movie, I think we mentioned it at the end of the last episode. You've seen it once before as well?
Yes, I think I have vague memories of like a dark basement or like living room and watching it and feeling very unsettled and gross afterwards.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it was like one of the first movies I ordered through Netflix mail, like right when I first got Netflix way back in the day. Because it was just like, I think I looked up online, like trippiest movies on Netflix I can get or something like that.
Yeah, I think I just caught it on like cable or, early days of on demand or something like that.
Yeah, and it was great to see that I did not remember a lot of it because I was so pleasantly surprised by so much of what this movie is doing and going for. I do remember it had a very dark ending. I remember being depressed after I finished it, but thinking it was really cool and interesting. But I definitely did not understand it to the extent I think I understand a lot of what's happening. Like there's still a lot of things in this movie that I'm not sure on, or just like guessing my hypothesis, or things I don't know how it quite fits into the rest of it. But I had a great time watching this.
It was an awesome watch. Really really enjoyed revisiting it. I think when I walked away from it, I always remember there's this big twist where like they kind of change places in this weird way.
I remembered something like a twist.
And like I had mentioned last week, there's some sort of like Persona vibes, like obsession, wanting to be one another, being in love with one another. I vaguely remember that that this film was a queer film of sorts.
Yeah, I had forgotten that.
This romance between these two women. But like I had forgotten how late in the movie it sort of turns.
Yes.
And you see like, oh, this is what's really been sort of going on, or is it, but I mean, let's fucking dive into it.
Yeah, I just want to say there was a point in this movie where it was like, oh, did we fuck up? Is this movie not out of order? Because it was like so narratively straightforward, and then it just like flips it on its head in a crazy way.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that as well. I was thinking about that, and I was like, fuck.
I was like, no, I'm sure I looked it up and confirmed.
Yeah, I think we were like even inspired because we were doing a little bit of research, looking into nonlinear narratives, and Mulholland Drive came up, and we're like, well, fuck yeah, if we can get old Lynchy boy in there, let's get him in, you know?
Absolutely.
Second appearance of David Lynch on the podcast.
Yes. Perhaps a redemption arc in a certain way, because you were more sour on it than me, but neither of us loved Dune.
I just want to point out, I have told so many people this. I championed that movie.
Yeah.
I told people for years and years, that movie is good. Give it a chance. Like, if you like Dune, if you love this world, then like let yourself just let go and like experience it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just didn't hit the same. It didn't hit the same. Famously, I think my lowest tier ranking at this point.
Yeah.
D.
Yep. I
D
gave it
for dumps.
I gave it a C. I still enjoyed it, but we were doing that hand in hand with the Villeneuve one. We do have some defenders in the comments for the David Lynch Dune, so shout out to them.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them. I appreciate that. Carry on the torch and all that lovely stuff. I will, I will kindly disagree, but that's still my next viewing. Like that's the thing about film too is like, I think that like, and just like last week, I was in like a weird space for Mirror, and I felt like things did not go well ultimately for me. For this, it felt kind of like I was like kind of up in the air, and I was like, oh, I'm having a great time watching this.
I was so enthralled. I would say even at the edge of my seat for a lot of it. Like I thought such a good job with the tension building.
So tense.
Super
tense.
I had totally forgotten just like this is like a thriller.
It's really tense. It's super tense.
Loved it. Yeah, the slow mystery build, the intrigue, you got these guys chasing you around. Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, I love that it starts with this sort of like purple background and the like swing music, and they're all like sort of like dancing. And it's because like it reminds me of the swing craze of the 90s.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny that that's like a thing, you know?
Yeah, it was so fun and weird, and I was like, I don't remember this at all, but this is an amazing, weird way to start a movie. I do want to point out, right before it goes into the jazz, there's this droning, like dark music with the black credits, and then it like switches into jazz and goes into this dancing, which very much ties into the ending of this movie.
Yeah, but there's still like the weird like drones like underneath it all, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
still while
yeah.
they're like dancing and everything, there's still
Totally.
that like really unsettling vibe.
I was very impressed by the composer. I believe it was Angelo Badalamenti. I'm not sure if I wrote that down right when I wrote it
Angelo
down.
Badalamenti, who
Oh.
also plays the guy who drinks the espresso
Oh.
and spits it up.
That scene cracked me up so
That's
hard.
so fucking funny, dude. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I
he's
forgot how funny this movie is.
he's on the
man.
score, and then on behind the sticks we've got Peter Deming doing he's the director of photography for this one.
Like such weird, fascinating cinematography. A lot of like POV shots throughout
There's
the whole
a lot
movie.
of those crawling Lynch shots. Do you know,
Yeah.
like those jolty, like moving towards a door or something,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you realize, oh, that's Betty's point of view. Why is it so sinister? You know.
Yeah. Yes.
But I mean,
man.
it all comes. All the chickens come home to roost in the end.
They
you know?
do, man. They do. Yeah, in the way this opening sequence just like fades into Betty's / Diane, like in the spotlight, just smiling. Man, it sticks with me, dude. I was kind of fucked up after this movie, like in a good way, like in a like inspired, but like dark, stormy place way.
Yeah, I mean, so like directly after the sort of purple part, and then there's the crowd. Yeah, like you said, there's the crowd cheering, and there's that bright, like blinding light on Naomi Watts. I love the use of that. Like Lynch does a great job of working with in his films. You always see a really good use of this overexposure, which is one of these sort of like do's only when you figure it out of like cinematography. Like you always want to get like a really good image, and overexposure can cause it. Like what it truly is that like the amount of light that is entered is so much that it renders it like white, right? So you want to really use that like sparingly, and it's used so well within this movie. There is like that sense of like divine light almost, like, but also this dreamlike nature to it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very well done.
So, should we talk about what we think is going on in this movie? Because it kind of like fills in the context of everything happening, or should we just like go scene by scene with it?
I think this is her on like she's like dying, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's dying.
That's my interpretation.
And it's her
yeah.
seeing like it's
like a
her
fever
brain
dream.
rearranging
Yeah.
everything so she can fall back in love with the woman
Oh.
who she loves.
Oh.
And I think the
It
thing
hurts.
the
Dude.
thing with
It does.
the guy from Twin Peaks, the guy with the voice thing, you know,
Mr. Roke, I believe his name was? In the wheelchair.
yeah, I feel like he sort of represents, along with the like mob, like this conspiracy that
Yes.
justifies why she
Uh-huh.
never became famous, right? Because
Yeah.
there are these people who are like, you have to pick these specific
It's
like
heartbreaking.
actors, right? And
Yeah.
like I think it's really just it is her doing the cognitive like dissonance of like trying to find a way, like trying to salvage her life again, trying to find something good once more.
In a dream.
In a
or
dream. Yeah.
Moments in her moments of death.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite beautiful, I think.
Yeah. Well, that was Mulholland Drive. All right. Now let's get to the middle.
Yes. So into like this heavy breathing.
Yeah, there's the bed, the pillow that we later realize is where she fucking shoots herself.
Yes, and there was another moment later on too where it shows the phone call and the red lamp, and like
Yes.
the imagery of the red
Yeah, yeah.
lamp stuck in my head so
It
hard.
did for sure with me.
And then when I saw it at the end, I'm like, oh.
Well, the palette for
so
those
good.
different shots where we're having the phone tag
Yeah.
is really well done. There's
Yeah.
just like the browns of like the office that Mr. Roke is in or whatever. And then there's
Absolutely.
the dude like a very sort of like neon, like mint green sort of like look where he answers the phone, and the guy just says same as before or whatever. And then we have the red phone like ringing. But then when it gets recontextualized that it's her phone, that was like, whoa.
Yeah. there was a lot of moments at the end like that where I was just like, oh shit, okay, because it kept bringing everything from these parts later on in such a cool, smart way.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah.
impressed with the script.
We have some awesome wide shots of like Los Angeles at night,
Yeah.
like throughout the film too.
Mulholland Drive street
yeah.
sign, of course, a lot of street signs. The streets are very important, which is like, I don't know, when I think he talks about like paths a lot in this movie, like multiple times. Like there's the hidden path at the end and the cowboy talking
I
about the
think
path
it
you go down in
also-
your life.
It also signifies like there's some class aspects to that, right? Like
yeah,
where people
That's
live
such a good
like
point,
in
yeah.
like and especially in Los Angeles, like, you know, all the rich people live like further up in like the hills and everything. So there is, I think, this sort of like emphasis on the name of where the place the person lives, you know, hearing a certain street.
yeah.
I mean, I even remember growing up in like Redmond, like people would be like, "Oh, the party's here," and it's like, "Oh, isn't that in Novelty Hill?" And then, "Oh shit, you know, it's gonna be like
Yeah.
a huge house."
Totally.
Things like that. You know, I
That's
think there's a little
great
bit
point.
of that vibe as well.
Absolutely, because it's her dream. That's like one of the.
Yeah, she wants to
core
be famous.
parts.
She wants
She wants
Well-
to be a great actress.
She wants to be great, but also a movie star because they're not mutually exclusive.
Exactly. One really interesting technique he uses throughout the whole movie too, I notice, is just the unconventional way of showing a scene where he'll often, like the way he's showing the city here, and then it shows her in the car, and then it goes back to showing the city. Like usually you have a long setup and then you go into the scene. He's like back and forth and then back to her again, and that's when you get the car crash and all that.
Yeah, and I think I want to shout out the sound treatment for a lot of these scenes is so strange. It is very dreamlike. It is unsettling, like
Yeah.
the way the voices sit in the mix. And I
That's a
didn't pay
great
attention,
point.
but I think it becomes more naturalistic in the ending part.
Absolutely. Well, the dialogue and everything in the lighting, I think,
shifts,
does
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
Like lots of things shift. It feels like, you know, Naomi Watts is like wearing a lot less makeup as well. But yeah, we have Laura Herring in the back seat. She's great.
Yes.
Apparently born in Mexico, so her like is a native Spanish speaker apparently.
Yeah.
And it was fun that they used some of that throughout the film.
Yes, I love that. At moments, I would found myself wondering if she's a little too stiff, but it also fits this character, I think, and
I think
like
I
what's
think it's
going
yeah.
for. I think that's
I think it's a I think it's a great performance for the character. I think it matches really well.
yeah.
And she does have like this sort of like just like there's this like helplessness but this danger
Yeah.
that and she's very
Mysterious,
very
so
sexy lady.
intriguing. Yes, I
Very-
mean both of them.
but yeah, very intriguing. Very like there's definitely that like again sort of film noir sort of vibe of like this feels like someone who could definitely be playing like a femme fatale in like a film, you know.
I was thinking femme fatale as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then I love the mirroring of the line in the beginning and the end, you know, what are you doing? We don't stop here.
Yeah, man. And then the teens racing. Oh, and the gun gets pointed at her right before that.
Yes.
Which just like the implications of how that
Well,
all
it's
went
also
down.
fun- well, but also you have to think about this. Like, she is an actor, right? Who's obsessed with like movies, and her whole like reasoning of it becomes this over dramatic, like very conspiratorial sort of movie. Like,
yeah,
it reminded me of The Conversation, kind of as
Yeah,
well. Like,
I was thinking about
the
that as well.
paranoia and the like lack of grasp on reality.
yeah, and like you were saying, the ambiguousness of what is truly going on.
Which I'm big into. I love that shit.
Yeah, really good.
But yeah, they crash into her, and then when she gets out of the car, she makes it out of the car. She seems to be the only survivor, and she's walking like she's possessed. She's so like jerky
Yeah,
and jolty and weird.
I think this is
So-
when we
some
get the
good
first
physical acting.
POV shot too, of like a shaky cam basically as she's wandering towards the city.
Yeah, dude, David Lynch, professional shaky cam guy.
pretty good. I mean, I don't know. It's not like all of the cinematography felt like the best thing I've ever seen, but the frequency and variety of it all just like kept it so interesting.
It was narratively motivated, I think.
Yeah.
It was like there was a lot of cool shit that was done, and it was all stemming from how to evoke the feelings like necessary to like sort of process what's going on in the scene, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, very tasteful. And-
Like I would say the mirror is kind of showier and like it's like in like the cinematography.
Yeah.
Like there are moments of like the like orbiting shots and like the blocking for it, despite it being like very like naturalistic in other senses. In this, it felt like I said like very like story motivated. Like let's not like do a shot because like, oh, it would be cool to do this. Like this shot needs to happen like this because the feeling we're trying to evoke is like
it's both
this.
incredibly functional while having an emotional underlaying because it's like trying to capture the perspective. Yeah, it's very well done.
Good motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. And so she kind of like runs through the street. We see some more signs. I think Franklin Street and then Sunset Boulevard. And then
we see all the palm trees. You know,
yeah,
we're in Los Angeles, baby.
that's right.
That's where I was born. Los
right.
Angeles, Cedar Sinai, which I think is in Beverly Hills, but I'm not sure.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, she hides from a couple walking by. Building
Yeah, they're
the
like
suspense,
laughing. They're like having a good time, and she just like hides in a bush,
and falls asleep.
and then she falls asleep in a bush.
Yep.
Yeah, and immediately I'm thinking, dude, if you have a concussion, you should not be falling asleep.
Yeah, which comes up later. But,
we see the first responders on the scene, and they found a pearl earring in the back seat.
Yeah, we got Robert Forster here, who I know is a legendary actor. I know him from the final season of Breaking Bad. He's a important character.
Yeah, good actor, fun guy.
He's great. Yeah, I love him.
Him and the other cop I recognize too. I don't remember what I've seen him in, but I definitely seen him as well in some other stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of actors in this that looked familiar.
Yeah, no,
to me.
this stack is pretty cast.
Robert Forster also passed away kind of recently, so
this
R.I.P.
cast is pretty stacked. Is
It
what I
is.
meant to say.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, she wakes up in the morning. Well, so there's an earring at the crime scene, and
They find a pearl earring. None
Yeah.
of the kids were wearing one, so they both think that someone's missing.
Yeah.
And I love the way that they're talking to each other.
Yes, I was about
it
to
too.
bring that up as well because it's just the dialogue is so campy and uncanny, and so is the acting for a lot of it. And I wrote down multiple times because I had forgotten that this is like a dream. I thought it was just kind of like there's going to be a twist with the like perspective of the events.
But that's also Lynch, you know, like he has that sort of like vibe to a lot of his movies.
Yeah, but I think
like it helps him pull off
services-
the Prestige.
Right, I think it services this so well because it's
That it's
so,
just a dream, that it's a construction of her own imagination.
Yeah, and
for sure.
everything feels just like slightly out of place.
Feels forced. I mean, like he
Yeah.
says to her in the audition later on, when you're like, that seems kind of out of nowhere,
Yeah.
a little forced maybe, and then
Yeah.
it's like, no, that's like kind of like a meta commentary on everybody else.
That's amazing.
Because like I'm even sitting here and I was like, why was the director so fucking bad at his job? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, because he's like essentially like a dream automaton, like a
The
like
representation
like a
of-
dream golem, right? Like
Yeah.
you know? And she doesn't like directors because like the love of her life fell in love with one, and like she was never really recognized by them, so maybe he just is like an amalgamation of all the shitty directors she's ever worked with, you know?
Yeah, which is getting me thinking about Adam Kesher. What is his full name? The director throughout the movie. And it's like she hates him, but also he's kind of a sympathetic character throughout the dream, I feel like. Being forced to he almost felt like a stand-in for David Lynch in ways, like the studio trying to force him to do a certain thing.
Yeah, for sure. There is that aspect. There is that aspect of it. But
His
then
wife's
also,
cheating on him.
Also, she's like not in any of those like shots,
which
leads you to question like where does that sit? Reality versus dream. I think it is part of the dream,
right? Because the mob is after him because they're trying to force her to not get the role. Yeah, or not mob. I don't know. Just like the suits,
the cabal, cabal of suits.
Yeah. Well, she wakes up. She goes into this house that's just there.
Well, yeah, she sees who we later know is Aunt Ruth.
Yeah.
Leaving her apartment. And yeah, she sneaks into the house, and I love how the lady comes back.
Yeah, and she's hiding under the table.
But she's hiding right under the table.
Yeah.
And then she uses her purse as a pillow. Is really fucking funny, dude.
Yeah. And I think this next scene is One of the most interesting scenes in the movie, given the rest of the storyline in this movie, because it's so bizarre. You're just two guys at a diner.
I think this is the only way she can compartmentalize that she had a hit put out on the love of her life.
Yes.
You know, like
exactly.
it's the only way that
because
she
sees the guy who's like the star of this scene just standing there, and then there's the waitress with the name Betty, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's all taking all these identities and like switching them up. It's so brilliant and interesting.
It is very cool. It definitely feels like something that would happen in a dream to you, and you would wake up and you'd be trying to like reconnect things. And one of the things that'll happen to me, I'm like, did that really happen? No, that was a dream, but that did happen. Was it in the dream? You know, because like when like dreams are this super interesting thing, because even as you experience them, like I just like never feels like you really have your grasp on them, and it's cool to be able to like replicate that with a narrative in something like a film, which often I feel like it's a medium that feels so easy to like track and to like use that and be like, all right, let's induce the feeling of like dream logic, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it starts they're at Winky's, which
Yeah.
I just love as a name.
It's called Winky's. Very funny.
And he's saying the reason they're there is because he had a dream where something horrible happened.
Yeah.
Which was in like this man behind the building he's
They're
talking
gonna,
about.
like, and like he like the other guy realizes, okay, we're gonna reenact it. So he stands up, and this is where the dream starts. And I love how much he immediately starts sweating, because what he told him is like, I see you standing there. I'm already scared. I see how scared you are.
Yeah.
I get even more scared because I know. Excuse me. I know that there's a man controlling it.
Yeah.
And he's behind the wall back there.
There's a
So he's
man
like,
in back
okay.
of this place.
And
I
so he's
think,
like,
don't worry.
okay, we'll pay and we'll go check it out. So he walks him back there, and he turns the corner like and I was like, oh, is it behind the building? No, it's like this dumpster off to the side, and they go behind there, and there's this dude covered in like brown shit. Like he just looks like some sort of like trash man. Like not like a man who like lives among the trash, a man who is made of trash.
Yeah, like mud and trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like horrified by this.
I'm horrified by it. It's
Yeah, no, me too.
disturbing.
But like, and the silently like, like having
Yeah,
like
he just
almost
has like a heart attack or faints. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
like he's having like a seizure of sorts, and
Yeah.
like the guy like grabs him, and it seems like the other guy doesn't even see the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because he just catches him and he's like, oh no.
Very freaky. And I wrote it was very freaky before I even saw the guy, because he's just like sweating balls.
Yeah.
It's so tense.
And, well,
it's that
and-
same like.
And their whole conversation, again, like, this is some of the most uncanny acting in the entire movie. The way they're looking at each other, the kind of like slow pauses, like it felt very surreal to me from the start, and then it just keeps getting more surreal.
Yeah. I also wondered. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but there was almost this like the implications about like well, there's just so much room.
Right.
There's just so much room to like think about like who these two people are and what their like relationship to one another is. And I love the placement of the scene, just like boom, and you're like, what the fuck was that? That was sick.
Yeah, and the detail that the friend ate his whole plate and the guy who's scared
Yeah, didn't eat anything.
didn't take a single bite, and it's like there's so much like layering, especially if this is kind of the like I don't know, almost like the final moment of this dream for her in a way.
There's also this part of like the framing where like we've been seeing when the like camera's shooting towards the door where we saw like the friend sitting, we're at their table, and like it's like a very specific view, and then at the end it moves a table forward so you can't see their empty plates as they walk away. And it's almost like they're like, the implication in my head is like, oh, they're like ghosts. They're not really there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I think the scary man is probably the biggest question mark I have, but I would, or maybe not, but my guess is that he just like represents the darkness within us.
Yeah, I mean the ability to like have somebody killed. I feel like that's why I said the whole thing about her being able to like compartmentalize that she put out a hit on this person, because like that guy just feels so like dark and gross and kind of
the darkness with the contrast of being at Winky's. It's just like brilliant.
I love it. It's good.
Love it too.
But that's where they actually were. They were actually at Winky's.
That's amazing.
Kind of makes sense why that bled through.
So good.
And then we get another shot of who we will start calling Rita at a certain point. She's back at the lady's house and she's still sleeping.
Yep.
And then we see randomly like a call, and I think this is where we see
the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, is he in a wheelchair? I thought he was just in a chair.
Yeah, maybe it's just the framing of it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a wheelchair. I think he's just like short and he's in like a
Interesting.
like a big chair. But yeah, he's on the phone with someone telling him how the girl is still missing.
That's right.
And so now we're thinking, okay, Laura Herring's character Rita is being looked for, right? And then this is where we get those different calls and those cool like sort of color palettes, you know.
Yeah. Well, we were talking a little bit about this before we started. Or did we go over the red lamp already?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was live. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we talked about we see the red lamp. We see one guy who we only see from behind his head. One guy whose like face we don't see. I love the way it's shot. There's like so much mystery to it.
And just so memorable. And another thing I want to point out, because it starts happening so quickly, is the amount of extremely colorful, memorable characters. Like every character had a vibe, a distinct thing about them. They felt very surreal while also feeling like fleshed out characters, you know?
Yeah, we're about to get introduced to Irene, and I was like, something unsettling about her and her husband that I knew was going to come back into play.
Yes. So we meet Betty.
Yeah, she can't believe it. She's arriving in Los Angeles.
She's so pure and sweet.
City of
and
Angels.
Innocent, yeah.
And the voices still sound wild.
Dressed
it
in
feels
pink
so
and
dreamlike. It's like the voices are so like crisp and so in the front of the mix in this like very strange, unnatural way.
Absolutely.
This is where we find out Betty wants to be an actor. You know, you hear Irene basically like, you know, go get him, kid. You got this, you know?
And so their placement in the movie
and then they get in there
is extremely interesting.
They leave in another car and she's smacking his thigh and they're laughing.
Yeah, to me, this like they represent like this pureness, like that believed in her, like her potential in a way, like the ability to grow old and be happy, because like the ending with them chasing her.
Yeah, chasing her around. Yeah. Memories of like
What
pure times.
Yeah.
Better people. Who were they really? You know, you wonder.
Yeah, and we see them just like laughing hysterically.
Yeah, they're honestly kind of unsettling.
They are, yeah.
Like I said, the way she's like smacking his thigh, you know, there's like
Interesting.
Very wild people.
Yeah, wild. And then we see the Hollywood sign.
We do. We see the Hollywood sign. We get Betty meeting Coco at the apartment.
Coco. Again, like just so many interesting characters nonstop that are going to be thrown at us for the rest of the movie, basically.
I love the Hollywood vibe too.
Yeah.
Like these like people who like these older people, you know, this old single woman, you know, seems like she was perhaps a performer herself at some point.
Yeah.
You know, these kind of like vibes of like.
I'm a little confused on what this neighborhood is here, because it's like it's a whole house she has, right? It's not like
No, it's an apartment building.
Oh, okay. It's just like so big with the upstairs and stuff.
It's a courtyard.
Gotcha.
There's a courtyard, and then the apartment. It's not a house. It's not like a mansion. It's just like that's why she's complaining about the dog shit there, and then
because she was obviously like the landlord of a community, and I was
like the property manager. I would
Yeah.
think. I don't know about landlord. Maybe property manager.
Okay, fair enough. And she goes into her aunt's apartment.
I do want to point out the kangaroo story.
Oh
is
yes,
kinda
the man
funny.
with the prize-fighting kangaroo.
Yeah, prize-fighting kangaroo, and she says, "You can just imagine what he did in this courtyard."
just so strange and surreal.
Yeah, but also feels very
Hollywood.
Very Hollywood, very like Los Angeles, California. You
Totally.
know?
Yeah, and the era of when this like it has like a 50s vibe.
No, I think it's supposed to be set when it came out, like, you know,
90s?
late 90s, early 2000s.
Interesting.
Because, I mean, like, the movies that they're shooting are kind of like an homage to, like, the 40s, 50s.
That's a good point.
But
yeah.
I think they themselves are like, in the present time.
Okay. That checks out.
Yeah.
She finds the abandoned clothes and the
But
purse.
I just want to point out, I also think that Lynch likes going for, like, a timelessness.
Yeah, well, that's
like,
what I
as
was
well.
kind of getting the vibe of. Like, it wasn't any time or place in particular, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's this timeless thing, but definitely feels kind of like
Modern for the era.
Yeah,
Contemporary.
or of that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Rita's just like in the shower. and so she like walks in there.
Yeah, and we also get the like background that this is Aunt Rita, Aunt Ruth's apartment. Betty can stay in it, while
she looks for work as an actor.
Yeah, and while her aunt is off like filming something somewhere else, I guess she says.
Yeah, because her aunt is in the movie industry.
Yeah, she also works in the old film industry. But yeah, she runs into Rita and she's like taking a shower.
The way she's framed this whole conversation, where it's just her body like leaned against the wall behind the glass, and like the way she's just kind of like almost cowering in the corner, like
trying to make herself really small.
Yeah, it's like kind of haunting, and then like
helpless.
And the only time you see her like it's just like a super close up on her face in the shower, and that's like he does that a lot of super close ups. It's interesting. She doesn't remember her name.
No, and we see that she sees the poster in the bathroom with Rita Hayward, so she decides to go by the name Rita. And her aunt is shooting something in Canada. She does mention that. We can see how excited Betty is to be in like Hollywood. She really wants to be an actor, She's from Deep River, Ontario, she mentions, which is something that we see later on is actually true of Diane Selwyn, who is her actual identity, right?
Yeah. And just the way, just how pure Betty is in like this whole dream is so,
it's a real projection of what she wishes she was like.
It's so heart-wrenching to me with that context.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when we see her later on, and like her whole sort of like demeanor like is very like sort of aggressive and sour.
Yeah.
Acrid.
Yeah, and I believe throughout the movie we see her in pink, and I think she slowly gets into darker colors. Like there's like a transition point where she's like in white.
Yeah,
now.
I mean the first scene she's wearing that like little like pink sweater.
Yeah, with the sparkles on them. Yeah.
It's like kind of fluffy, I think.
Yeah.
But then we see that Rita has gotten hit in the head, and she's like, no, you know what? I just want to sleep. And then she says it later on that she's figuring, if I just go to sleep, everything will be okay. And I get that.
She's like, maybe I'll remember.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like, you're like, you know what? Let me just reset this day. I kind of lost today. I admit I failed, so I fold, and, we'll mulligan down to 6 cards and see how we do tomorrow,
Yeah, and the way Betty takes care of her.
But Betty even mentions, she's like, if you have a concussion, you shouldn't sleep.
Yeah.
But I love how she says, hey, if you have a concussion, you shouldn't fall asleep, then proceeds to just let her fall asleep.
I know. I was
and, like put a blanket on her.
I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, yeah, something else I noticed here. The way Rita is dressed in red the whole movie. I was like, this means something. And then with the context of the ending, but like the way this happens here is she's in this like dark red towel, and then she puts an even darker red blanket on top of her. It's like, damn, that's like with the context of where this is all going, that's amazing.
It represents blood, folks.
Hell yeah, brother.
It represents the blood of murder.
And passion, perhaps.
Yeah. Finger blasting each other on the couch.
Like a little too aggressively, perhaps.
Well, I mean, dude, she like literally tells her to stop at one point.
Yeah, it's bad vibes with Diane.
Poor Diane, dude.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's really
poor
sad.
Diane, but at the same time, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, she sucks. Well, she's like a little crazy though too. Like, but you also don't know how much of that is the
we
dream
don't have an
state.
idea of how much time has passed too, with like how long it's been driving her crazy, and like we don't really know that much about their background, Yeah,
like, the clearest sign I can think of that made me think she was crazy is there's that scene where they go to the party and then they're at the table and she's already jealous that she's with Adam, right? That Rita's with Adam, or Camila, and then the waitress, or not a waitress, it's just
a random person comes and she sees them kissing.
Yeah, they just start making out, and then she kind of like smiles about it afterwards. And to me, that's her projecting in that moment onto Camila, like seeing the worst in her, like in a psychotic kind of way.
Wait, you're saying Diane is crazy?
Yeah.
Because she smiles at her when she's kissing her?
No, because I think she imagined that.
Them kissing, yeah. Okay, yes. That's what I was thinking as well. That was like her sort of paranoia driven to like the edges.
Yeah, like madness.
But what I'm saying about no, I get that. Yeah, she's unstable. But my questions about it, because of the lack of information we have, is like, I don't necessarily think of Camilla as being like a great person either. Like,
No.
there's a part of me that's like, how long has this been going on for? And like, a part of me is like, maybe she was somewhat driven to this. And sure, she has the power to like separate herself from someone, but like, I kind of know what it's like when you're in like that gross, like fucking codependent sort of situation, how hard it feels to separate yourself from someone.
Yeah.
So there is like a tinge of empathy.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like
It's driven in very human emotions.
it's not like the kind of crazy where I'm like, well, woo, you know,
No.
unrelatable. It's a very sort of relatable,
Yeah,
like
it's a very
level
grounded
of like
place of
like
darkness.
driven to the madness, you know?
Absolutely. Totally agree. No, I felt for her a lot, but yeah, definitely unhinged.
No, for sure. I just want to point that out. Because
And we also don't know.
Well, in film,
like,
a lot of times you get like these characters who you can kind of like brush away and dismiss and be like, oh wow, they were like crazy.
Yeah.
And then there's the kind of crazy that is like well done and
Yeah.
is like, oh, this person is mentally unstable, and I really can, to kind of unsettling degree, see where they're coming from.
Well, I think the brilliant thing this movie does, especially like I said, that opening scene with her in the spotlight, like during the dance sequence, just like you see how she got there, how innocent she is, and I do believe, like, of course, this is an exaggerated version of herself, but I do believe she probably came to Hollywood with much more like starry eyes is like part of the story.
Right. No, it's based in truth. It is like she's like kind of doing like a little bit of like a biopic on herself in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Slightly. The next scene we have the city of angels, some wide shots, you know, and we see the two brothers. I think their last name is the Castigliani.
Oh yes, dude.
Yeah, the Castigliani brothers arrive at Ryan Entertainment.
So funny, man. This
We
is
see
when I really
Adam, the
started getting
director
pulled
there.
in, just because it's so
It's pretty
silly.
funny. Yeah. we got three suits. We've got Adam, who's obviously the director because he's wearing like the sunglasses and he like seems like the hip artsy one. And then we see that the dude from earlier seems to be listening in. I think you said Mr. Roke was his name. Is that
Yeah,
what you said?
I wrote that down at some point.
Let's see. Let's check the cast and crew real quick and see if that's his real name. But yeah, he seems to be listening in from like another spot.
Yes, just the
Yeah,
layers.
Mr. Roke. Yeah.
The layers of conspiracy.
Oh, and the guy standing next to him, just called Roke's manservant.
I love that. Yeah, the room he's sitting in, everyone talking to him from behind glass. It's just like so bizarre and strange. But it like really adds to the sense of intrigue, right? This mystery, like what the fuck is going on?
There's a conspiracy going on.
Yeah.
And I love that we have the Castigliani brothers are played. They arrive and they're played by Dan Hedaya, who I love as well. Very very good at being like this sort of like angry man, and I love his role in this film is so small, but just like the way he's talking, you know, he's like, "This is not your film." It's so fucking good. And then the other guy, is played by Angelo Badalamenti. Is literally the fucking composer.
Amazing.
Like, would you like anything? And
Espresso.
You know, I love this. I fucking love my espresso, dude. Like,
You do.
I was so stoked when I saw. He's like, just an espresso, and the guy's like, "Oh, don't worry, don't worry."
I did the research.
I did the research. This is gonna be great espresso. You're gonna love it. And of course, the espresso arrives. And immediately, I love it when somebody does something wrong before the person even tries it or whatever. You know,
Bring me a napkin.
or he's like, napkin. No, he doesn't even say bring napkin.
Napkin.
Yeah, and he's like shaking, like, why don't you bring me a fucking napkin? And then the setup of him grabbing the napkin, putting the cup in the napkin, his pinky up, taking the sip, and you immediately see in his face he does not like it. Spits it all up over the napkin. It's so fucking funny to watch. It's insane.
Really funny.
It's insane.
Oh man, yeah, I was laughing my ass
That
off.
is considered one of the finest espressos in the world.
Yeah, they get so angry.
It's really fucking funny. But yeah, we have a.
It's not a recommendation. This is the girl.
Yeah,
They're forcing Camila Rhodes on them.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Just all of the layers that is tied to the reality, the conspiracy for the drama of the thriller aspect of the movie tied into the metaphor of
the real names, you know.
Yes,
and how they come into play.
And just like the jealousy and the darkness with her in her, right? Because we have Camila and Rita representing the two sides of the same person, like the evil Camila Rhodes, who's just getting forced into this position, and then this beautiful, like, helpless woman who she loves so deeply.
Yeah, for sure. It's good. And again, it makes sense. Like with the thinking about it, like in this sort of like way that like our brains work, it like just makes so much sense that like you'd be so like broken by it that like all of these things would sort of like shatter into all these different like, and then like when you try to pick it back up and glue it all back together, like it's just something completely different.
Yeah. You know, we mentioned this with, or you mentioned this with Mirror last week, that it reminded you of Waking Life a little bit. I feel like there is some of that in this as well. Just this surreal, unnatural tone with this,
the dreamlike nature, like that sort of like structure, I think that definitely like feels very Waking Life as well.
Absolutely.
Like some of the scenes, the way they flow into each other, especially towards the end, which is some of the more grounded parts, is really wild and cool. But I dig it. Then we have the whole time during the meeting where they're telling him that she's the girl. He has this golf club in front of him, and then he's leaving with it, and he fucking destroys their fucking windshield.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, they also tell him it's no longer your film.
Yeah, it is no longer your film.
They're just stealing it from, which, like, to me, you know, I was just thinking the whole time, like, this feels like very much David Lynch making a commentary on his experience with.
Yeah, Hollywood commentary.
Yeah.
Hollywood commentary and how they stifle creativity, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, Adam is a jerk, you know?
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole. But he's like I said, relatable. Like, he's going through so much stuff that's like out of his control, like, and he's just being manipulated, and his artistic freedom is taken from him, and his wife is cheating on him.
Yeah, that sucks. I still think he sucks. I don't think I don't find him to be like a particularly like sympathetic character. I don't think he like necessarily is supposed to be.
Yeah. No, it's not that I found him especially charming. I just was like rooting for him as the underdog being kind of stomped on, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I just like, I think I also just like, this conspiracy seems far too big for him to even handle. He probably should just, you know, play ball.
And he doesn't really fight it too hard besides the golf club scene. He's after the cowboy, it's just like, okay.
And then we see that the older producer who is in the room, Jason is his name. He's behind the glass, and he's asking if they should replace the director or should they just shut it down. And I love this with Mr. Roque because he's like, not really giving him answers.
I don't think he says anything.
He's just kind of like giving him this face, like, "What do you think, dumbass?" And he's just like talking to himself, which reminds me of like when you do something wrong and as a kid and you like go, and maybe your conscience can't hold it, and you like go to tell your parents, and they already know, and they like don't even really say anything, and you just sit there and you're like apologizing, and they're just kind of like, you know, waiting for you to like put the words to it.
Yeah, just well, he's taking all the power from him by leaving him at the mercy of what he thinks he wants from him.
Well, because it's like, oh man, you know, I did like, you know, as a kid, I think I had a, you know, I would feel really bad about shit, and like I really didn't want to disappoint my parents, so I'd be like, oh, I did this, I guess this means this. I shouldn't be able to do this, right? So
yeah,
I'll just go and do this.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, totally. And I want to point out, between this scene and him fucking up his car, there is just like what I was talking about earlier with these kind of interesting intercuts where it's just like a 5-second thing of Betty checking on Rita, and then it just like cuts to Mr. Roque. Like, it's disorienting. Like it's like fragments, right? That are pieced together.
Sure. This next part is a big fragment too.
Oh my gosh.
The two dudes talking in the fucking office.
This might be one of the funniest scenes. This might be the funniest scene in the movie.
They're like friends, right? Like old friends.
It's the way they're talking too, like just like, bro, look.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I was like,
look at my digs, dude. Like,
I was like, this is so funny, dude. Because I like when you're watching it, you're like, oh man. You know, you were good at a lot of things, David Lynch, but this is kind of corny. And then in the context of the movie, it's
so
cool.
Good.
It is,
it's
again,
so
kind
good.
of like a little bit of like a prestige, you know?
Yeah, and the Black Book, another just like...
The history of the world and phone numbers.
Yeah, to me, that's like...
Ed's famous Black Book.
Yeah, it's just almost like an Easter egg of something, right?
It's like
just
the
like
Necronomicon of evil Hollywood producers, right? Like that, like is like low key what it is. Like I don't know.
All the numbers in Hollywood in one
feels
book.
very like Pulp Fiction kind of like
the suitcase.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's such a good call. Yeah.
Oh man, I did this is a little bit of a small tangent. One of the first like shorts I did in film school was on Super 8, and I did this thing called the piece is called Curiosity and the Cat. You can check it out on my YouTube. Maybe we'll link it in the comments. But Jacob is in it actually. Past guest
I
Jacob.
remember this.
But I did a little bit of like a Pulp Fiction like suitcase shot. Very proud of myself.
Love it.
It was a very fun shot.
Absolutely. Yeah, so he gets fucking assassinated. He's like, oh, is that Ed's famous black book? And he's like, sure is. Boom, dead.
Yeah.
Shoots him in the head.
This is so fucking funny too, because he's trying to like wiping the gun off for his prints, trying to get his handprints on it to make it look like he killed
probably the hardest
himself.
I laughed in the movie. Just in the way it just keeps going.
And then he shoots the lady through the fucking wall.
Something bit me.
It's so fucking funny.
And then he just starts like
They start wrestling each
yes,
other.
I wrote just world's most incompetent hitman.
Oh
just
my God,
gets into
dude.
a wrestling
That's so
match with her,
fucking stupid.
and then he's pulling her down the hallway, and this is just a janitor watching, and he's like, "Hey, come and help, come and help."
And the guy believes him, so he comes
and he
to help
goes,
him.
and he kills the lady, then he kills the janitor, and then he shoots the running vacuum for some reason, which causes a power outage, and the alarm starts.
So it's like a fire, I think. Dude, it is so fun. It's a Rube Goldberg machine of fucking insanity.
I loved it. I was laughing so
It's
hard.
very, very funny. I enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of what I said in Memento, which is this feels like from the Guy Ritchie universe of like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and like Snatch, which he is previously described as like, what if like criminals were like he says that they're like movies about stupid criminals, right?
Right.
And this guy definitely feels like he fits that mold for sure.
Yeah, he just does everything wrong.
And then he leaves out the fire escape. I mean, he makes it out, you know?
Yeah, he did the job just in the most incompetent
It's
way
so
possible.
fucking, yeah, I mean, he takes the black
If this
book
is
and
Metal
he
Gear
makes-
Solid, you're getting like bottom tier ranking.
Yeah. yeah, for sure. If this was a Hitman level, you get like 0 stars.
yeah. So Betty talking to her aunt on the
Yes.
phone, Aunt Ruth.
She mentions Rita.
Yeah, and she doesn't know Rita, and this is like the next wrinkle.
No, Aunt Ruth is like, who the fuck is Rita?
Yeah.
We're calling the fucking cops. Get this bitch out of my fucking house.
Absolutely.
I have no idea who she is, which I love that there is like this part of it that where I'm like, yeah, no, I get you, Ruth. There's some weird lady in your house. I would also be concerned, but also it's almost like the reality me versus the movie me, but the movie me is like, no, Rita needs help, dude. Like,
yeah.
she can't do it alone, dude. She's
so-
got some fucked up shit
so
going on.
helpless and innocent and sweet.
I mean, I don't know about that. I don't have those thoughts because I do feel like I'm like she was in the back of a car with getting a gun pointed at her. Like I feel like I'm
just
thinking.
mean, she has no memory. She's
No,
a
she
lost
has no
child.
memory. She has no memory, but I am a little bit like, man, what are we gonna discover when those memories come out? Because like she
Oh,
seems
yeah.
like she's involved with some sketchy
And
shit.
from the audience perspective, I'm like,
There's a part of me too that really feels like, and I think it's part of the performance. Honestly, is like there's a little bit of like Rita like, don't want to say playing it up, but like kind of like being like using her helplessness in a way to get this to.
interesting. I didn't get that.
She has
as
nowhere.
much.
She has nowhere to turn, you know, and there's some moments where I'm like, but she is for the most part kind
Because
of
she
like a
doesn't
helpless little
really-
puppy.
Because she doesn't really want anything. She's just like scared.
I mean, she wants things in certain moments. She wants to know who she is.
Well, yeah,
then
but
sometimes
she's so
she doesn't
hesitant.
wanna know who
She's
she
like,
is.
at first she's like later she's like, you want to go on a walk, or like, and then we can call in, and
She's
she's
a
just
real,
like
like-
so reluctant.
She's
She's
a
so,
real like blank, right? A real
Yeah.
like fucking blank sort of person who's just like cute and helpless
yeah.
for someone in like a dream cooked up scenario to be like, she's my damsel in distress and I'm gonna save her.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a like dream scenario.
Is it a criticism as well of like Hollywood's writing of like female characters of love interests? Maybe not, but like I
That's an
kind of
interesting
like that
thought.
read. I love
An
that
interesting thought.
honestly because
Yeah.
they can be so bland sometimes.
Yeah. That's
Not the movies we watch.
No.
sometimes
we
they are.
watch the good ones.
Sometimes they are though.
Yeah, yeah. They are.
We don't watch the good ones. We don't watch the bad ones. We watch the ones that belong to a category
That's true.
assigned to us by the
That's
legally
true. Some of
distinct
them better
movie
than
roulette.
others. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, this is when she's crying on the bed because she still can't remember anything, and then she opens
A
up
lot
her
of teary
purse.
eyes in this movie too.
Yes,
A lot of crying. In
I
this
understood it a lot more than Mirror, but yeah, no, and
movie.
it
Cries in Russian.
yeah, it's so interesting, like how much of Mirror I see in something like this, just in terms of
Yeah, I feel like I felt the same way. I was like, there's undercurrents of
yeah,
like that sort of. I would. I like it would not surprise me at all if like Lynch
some
was inspired
inspiration.
by
Yeah,
Mirror to make
I could
this.
see that. Yeah, she finds the purse full of money and then the blue key, which is another like like we actually get an answer kind of, but another suitcase moment for me.
Well, yeah, so like Ruth wants to call the cops too, but Betty's like, no, chill out, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And then we have that menacing shot we were talking about, where she's moving towards the door and bursts the door open.
Yeah.
And Betty's like, what the fuck is going on, Rita? Like,
Yeah.
what the hell, man?
Yeah.
And yeah, then we see the key and we see the money, and I think this is where Rita is also like, I don't actually remember shit, dog. And I thought sleeping would bring back my memories, but I don't remember anything. Here's like a bunch of cash and like a weird blue key that feels kind of space age.
Yep.
And I kind of love that she transforms it in her head like that, right? Like that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and I also noticed sometime around this period that just like the contrast between Betty and Rita. And so what's funny is, like I said, I remember there was a twist, but I didn't remember what it was. So I was trying to kind of piece together what the twist was, and I'm like, oh, I think I kind of remember something about her being a different person. Like she's actually like a schizophrenic, like she is Betty and Rita. Like it's like her split personality or something. And I was way off, but I was looking for like signs of that. And one of the things I noticed was like the contrast between them, the pink and the blonde versus the red and like the dark black hair. So I was like, oh, is this like her separated into her dark and light selves, you know?
Yeah, I remember that they were two different people, that they weren't the people that they are in that, and that reality was different than what we see. But I thought that they were each other, and I remember I was like, one of them is a famous actor.
Oh, like
and
you thought they had
remember
swapped places.
Yeah.
I see.
And
Interesting.
that's not quite it.
No. I love that though. That's great that we both vaguely remembered a different twist.
Yeah. I mean,
think
like I
that's
said,
great.
I remembered one of them was a famous actor, and that the other one wanted to be them. Like,
yeah, I didn't remember any of
that's
that,
what I
yeah.
remembered, and that is what happens. But I like had like
Yeah.
thought that she like I thought that like Betty is like like when we see Betty in the movie, I'm like, oh, that so she's like a movie star, and then like she's gonna like run into what, and then she's like, oh no, she wants to be a movie star, and then I was like, okay, and then when we got to the end, I was like, oh, okay, that's right, that's why I thought that.
Right. Love it.
Then we see this. I just called him a blonde dude, the guy
The
who fucking
hitman?
shot the guy. Yeah, the hitman. He didn't have a barcode or a 47 on the back of his head, did he?
No, not
He
quite.
was rocking a couple
It could have been under there. Could've
Twin
been under
ballers.
there.
God, I love the Hitman series.
Yeah, I've
This
played
story
some of them.
is
They're great.
insane.
I mean, I've been
too.
playing a lot of Metal Gear Solid. So.
I played. So I got 1, 2, and 3, because they were
They're like a same package, right?
they were like free or like super discounted.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the storyline
fun,
that it
man.
like follows. Because like at first you're part of the agency, and then like, no, you're not part of the agency, and the agency was manipulating you. You take down the agency. All this shit. This fucking.
Also, kind of very similar to Metal Gear Solid now that you mention it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, come on, it's a fun. You can play that story forever. You know, just
it's
like
great.
reskin it.
It's fucking great. So yeah,
But yeah, he's at Pink's,
Pink's?
which is a well-known hot dog spot.
Oh, is
down
it
in Los
actually a
Angeles.
real
Yeah.
place?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
cool.
real place. Yeah.
And he's talking to this lady. This is kind of a strange scene. Now that I'm looking at this again, like it's.
He's speaking to who I believe might be a sex worker.
Yeah,
And
and he's looking for the girl, so I think it's that extra thread of like, like he's looking for her too, but then we don't really see him again until the reveal, from what I remember.
Yeah, no, I don't think we see him very much at all.
So it's kind of, I don't know, maybe you could cut the scene, but it's nice to have the hitman at the back of your mind for the reveal.
No, well, it does seem like he's asking about Rita. Like, so you do have that. I think it's increasing the tension of this sort of like this
The mystery,
conspiracy,
yeah.
right? Like, because
now you've seen this guy
he
murder,
seems like
and he's looking for
he's
Rita.
another branch of it. Maybe
Yeah.
even the book, the Black Book, has to do with Rita, right?
Yeah.
And where did she come from? Where did she go? Cotton Eye Joe.
Nice.
Thanks, dude. And then Betty's asking Rita, like, bro, so you got a stack of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Does this remind you of
Yeah.
anything? The key or anything? She's like, oh, wait. Oh, no, there's something.
Yeah. She just kind of thinks it out. And then I think we get Adam driving.
We do. Adam Driver.
I was thinking, when I wrote that note, I was like, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
And he's driving along in this movie, so it came up multiple times.
Yeah, he's talking to Cynthia.
Yeah. And like I was saying, like Cynthia's such a whatever character, but they give her the script gives her so much personality. Like,
I like Cynthia.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Cynthia's
It's like
a good
she's in like
character.
2 scenes, but it's like that's my point. Is every character that's introduced is just like some interesting, quirky, memorable person.
Yeah, no, she's good. She's good. Well done. Well acted. I enjoyed that, especially her second scene too, like setting up the meeting with Cowboy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's telling Adam they fired everyone. They've closed the set. You got to come down here. You got to help me out. And Adam's like, nah, man, I'm going home. Cynthia's like, that's not like you, dude. He's like, nah, going home.
Yeah, there's casualness of it too. He's just like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, he seems real resigned to like just like everything
I like
sucks.
that. I don't know. Some part of that was sympathetic to me too.
Betty's wondering where Rita was perhaps going when she got in this car crash, and Rita knows Mulholland Drive.
That's right.
So they're gonna go check it out. Then we get Adam gets home, and again we're getting like these intercuts, like you're kind of like mentioning, like going between
Just,
the
like,
parallel
very
story.
short scenes
I think
back and forth.
I think it's supposed to add to like the dreamlike nature, because I have had, and I feel like this happened to me more in my later life. I will have dreams where like if I turn my head, like suddenly I'm like in another like narrative, like whereas if like where it feels like that, you know?
Yeah. Well, the transitions between dreams, if you can remember them, are always absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, but like going back and forth between two different like scenarios.
Yeah,
like
totally.
I've had that happen to me as well. But yeah, he gets there and we see the Gene Clean truck is there, and he is kind of
Funny
like,
name.
what's going on here? Sees the pool. Doesn't seem to be anyone
This is
cleaning
another
it there,
really
you know?
funny scene.
There's the blues music playing in the house.
That's right. Oh, is it Bring It On Home? No, that's the next scene. Yeah. Lorraine.
Yeah, he's looking for Lorraine.
Lorraine's in bed
with Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, is that right? Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
recognize
Billy
him.
Ray Cyrus.
That's awesome. I love that
Playing
he just
Gene.
looks at him like already so broken, just like grabs her jewelry, walks it to the garage.
I like that how she's like, well, you've gone and done it now.
Yeah.
And and I love Gene's character because like
he's probably pretty upset, Lorraine. Like so sympathetic.
he also says something to him like, you know, like, all right, you
It's
probably
not how
saw this coming, like, don't get like, no, let's not get upset, like, come on. And then yeah, he takes the fucking jewelry and pours paint over it.
And he's like, I don't care what she's done. That's not how you treat your lady.
Yeah, there's the big struggle where because he like starts to like physically sort of like attack her or like try to like
she's
grab
trying
her.
to stop him from pouring paint into her jewelry,
And
then
so he, like,
they just
picks
start
her up.
wrestling, and then he's just like
Yeah, but and
pushing
then,
her against the wall.
yeah, and then Gene intercedes because
Yeah.
he's a fucking hero.
He's a gentleman.
He fucking he's a real fucking man, dude. No, I'm just, but yeah, they just get him to leave, and so Adam drives off covered in some pink paint. He looks great too. I love how we retain that for the later scenes.
And like he's leaving with the bloody nose too. He's just like progressively getting more fucked
I
up.
kind of like what I love about this movie. It's a low key like happens in 2 days movie. You
Yeah,
know?
that's a good point. I was thinking about that, especially when she declares her love later. I was like, didn't you meet her like yesterday?
It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's very very
But then
strange.
it fits so well. It's so good.
It does. It does. It's also the disturbing part of her like not fully having control of the fantasy because like wouldn't she want Rita to be like, I love you
and
so
she
much,
doesn't.
right?
Oh,
No.
and that's where it goes to like the dark theater in
Yeah.
reality. Oh,
Yeah, it's dark.
It's good, man.
Yeah. So then we see Betty and Rita are hiding the money in like a hat box.
Yep.
And then they call to see if there was a car accident on Mulholland Drive.
Yep.
They find out there was, but they are not allowed any details.
Yeah. What's your name?
Yeah.
Hangs up, adding to that intrigue even more.
And then we see them at Winky's. And the server's name is Diane,
Yeah.
which is funny because that's her name.
Yeah.
And the server's name is actually Betty.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a twist.
Dude, the end. Mic drop. What a twist.
And at this moment, Rita remembers that she knows someone.
Yes, she remembers something.
Remember
Then they're-
someone named Diane.
And the way that they move between the locations is so dreamlike.
Yeah.
Because suddenly they're back at the house and they're looking through a fucking phone book. And it's like, Diane Selwyn, maybe that's my name. And they find the name.
They find Diane S. Like or
D.
some-
Selwyn.
Oh, that's right.
D. Selwyn, yes. I've flipped through a phone book before in my life.
And
And they hear the message machine, but
Yeah.
it's not Rita's voice.
yeah.
But she says that she knows her or something like that. Or she
No.
might know her.
I don't think so. She just says that's not my voice.
No, I think she does say like, but I know her or something like that.
Maybe.
Like, so she finds some recognition in the voice. And Betty suggests maybe it's like your roommate. Or maybe it's not Diane, so maybe it's your roommate, and like, you know. And so they're like, okay, let's go investigate.
Yeah.
But they don't go investigate yet.
No. Next we get
The big mob guy.
yeah, yes, arrives at Adam's place.
I love the way it starts with the hissing and the popping of the vinyl. It's like so present in the mix.
Yeah.
Sounds really
well,
good.
it really stood out to me because I was just listening to Led Zeppelin's version of Bring It On Home earlier that day, and then here we are getting like the OG Bring It On Home. I loved it. And so I would say in all my confusion, and we talked about a little bit of how things fit together, I think Adam's part in this dream world is the most. I'm unsure how it all fits in. Like the significance, because she does hear that his wife got the pool man, and he got the pool later, right? So it's kind of just like maybe that splinter memory of that conversation being fleshed out in this dream world.
Maybe she,
or like you said, maybe it's actually outside of the events of the dream.
Yeah, part of me is like, I feel like this could have actually happened.
Yeah, but not this guy coming in, because this is the conspiracy part, right? Like,
maybe it's like maybe he did have like some sort of experience like this at some point. I think what it actually is, I think if I think about it, it's the part of the dream where she's like almost kind of like, let's paint the people I really know and like better, like almost like, oh, he was like, he's not a bad guy. He's just like sort of like been changed by his environment, like the forces he couldn't work against in Hollywood.
It's almost
like
a demonization
corrupted him.
of Camila, right? Like she doesn't hold the blame towards her. Who is it that she gets assassinated? Like it's not.
Yeah, not him. Yeah,
not
her.
him.
Yeah, it almost seems like even though she doesn't like him, she doesn't really seem to like hold it super personally against. Like she's like, you fell for her just like I did. Like you were,
which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Pointing to like things in her subconscious, which I think are fun, because the easy thing would be just make him like a huge villain.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, he's just kind of like a piece of shit, but not like a horrible guy,
No.
which makes him like a bit more sympathetic, which kind of does give you the like sort of thing of like, that's something like you would do weirdly in your dream. Like it doesn't make sense to you, but like there's this piece of it that does, where it's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess if you really ask me deep down, I don't hate Adam. I don't think he's a horrible person.
Right.
I think he's working within the system, and I can see how difficult that might be.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I love the way Lorraine jumps on the big guy's back.
It's pretty fucking funny, yeah.
And then, here comes
Gene comes out trying to save the day again, but
can't do it. No, he gets,
big guy just knocks them both
he
out.
punches them both out. Yeah,
it's pretty fucking
comically.
funny.
Yeah, there's big like comic punch sounds too. Yeah.
And then we see another sort of night shot of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
We see the Park Hotel. Adam is staying there in room 16. We get Cookie.
Yeah,
who comes back later. I love Cookie.
Yeah,
Cookie's great.
Exactly. Who the hell is this guy? It doesn't matter, but I want to know more.
I mean, he owns the hotel.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, you know. And he tells him, "Hey, your line of credit is cut off, man." He's like, "Dude, I got enough cash to pay." He's like, "No, don't worry, dude. I got you. I know, but yeah, these guys from the bank apparently came by, and whoever you're hiding from, they know where you are."
Yep. And then he calls Cynthia. And Cynthia tells him that the cowboy wants to see you. And just the cowboy, man. Everything with the cowboy, I fucking love, man. So mysterious and interesting and creepy.
Yeah, the way they transition from him talking at the door, and then they move through the wall into the like hotel room. And yeah, I love the phone call, and she tells him that he's broke, you know. And
and she offers to let him stay at her place. So like, which is interesting, like and he denies, and she's like, "You don't know what you're missing." But it's interesting. Again, if this is a dream perspective, it's like, of course all the girls want him. Like, he stole, Camila from me or whatever.
Yeah. It was interesting that was a factor of it as well, that she was like into him.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Little side note. I guess also maybe, I don't know. But he like refuses, which kind of makes him seem a little bit more like
he's like a little sympathetic.
A little, yeah. Still a piece of shit.
Yeah. Um.
Also, like, very bad at like threat assessment because like two guys, Italian last names, suits. I'm not gonna make any assumptions, but I'm also not gonna take a fucking golf club to their fucking windshield. You know,
Yeah,
dude?
I think that's the like I'm a rock star ego side of him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Foolish. Yeah.
I'm a rock star.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're in that meeting, like their presence is so intimidating in every single aspect of what they're doing. No, you're not gonna fuck up their car.
Wow, it's so fucking funny that he does that. It's
yeah, it's
great.
hilarious.
It is great. Then we do have Betty and Rita that they're looking at a map, and they get interrupted by some knocking on the door.
Yeah,
I think they're
the
trying to
trippy
figure out
lady.
where D. Selwyn lives.
Yeah,
so that they can go there.
this is almost like the seer in the hero's journey.
Yeah, it was very cool. I liked it a lot. She just like freaking out. She's like, something bad is going to happen, and it's just like, oh, my name is Betty. And she's like, no, something is gonna happen to someone else.
Yeah, someone is in trouble. She keeps
Yeah.
saying. And she kind of spots Rita, and Rita like cowers away. You know.
Yeah. And then Coco arrives to break up the tension of the situation and delivers Betty her sides for her big audition.
That's right. And then we get Adam driving.
He's driving out to meet the cowboy. I love this scene. This is a really good scene.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes.
Love the way he rolls up and you're just like, it feels like he's in the city and then suddenly he's not.
Yeah.
And like he's just like pulling up to like a ranch.
Yeah, he's like, there's a corral up there on the canyon.
Yeah.
He just drives up onto
And,
this.
and there is.
Yeah.
And I love the way the light bulb comes
flickering
on
light,
and then the fucking cowboy appears and he disappears and like the light bulb goes out and then you don't see anyone anywhere. Like this is really good stuff.
Yes, I don't know what the fuck's going on with the cowboy, but he's so interesting. He almost like gave me like a Grim Reaper vibe. Like he's like the harbinger of death, or like
You spotted him later though, right?
Yes.
Where he's walking
in the party.
past in the party, yeah.
Yes, if you see me again, like you did bad, right? And she did bad. So like he almost feels like the
Wait. But if you see him once, you did good.
Yeah.
If you see him twice,
You did bad.
you did bad.
Yeah.
2 more times. 1 more time versus 2 more times.
Oh, sure.
So I think we only see him 1 more time in
So
the
we
movie.
did good.
We did good.
David
Thank
Lynch
you,
telling
David
us we did good.
Yay!
But yeah, I don't know. I got like a
Or is
harbinger
it
of
that
death. Or
maybe he's in there like a third time?
Oh my
And if you
God.
notice him, he's like, you did bad because you were paying too much attention.
Yeah, you're not paying attention to the scene.
You gotta pay
I
attention.
put boobies on the screen for a reason.
I pictured David Lynch saying, I put breasts in this film so you'd pay attention. God, what a guy, dude.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
What a fucking guy.
Yeah, I know. I was really getting like artistic genius vibes from this script and the direction and just like how it all came together.
He is. The thing is that he never wanted to like live on anyone else's terms.
Yeah.
Like he was always so
Did his own thing.
unabashedly himself.
Yeah, I love
to
that.
the point where it's like he was actually so much more like he's one of those artists is a real freak because he dresses like a normal person and like look kind of just like a normal dude. But then, like, he starts talking, and you're like, this guy is on another level.
Kids in their fucking phones watching movies.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's really good stuff.
Just all the dialogue from the cowboy is just like 10 out of 10, weird and interesting. I love it so much. A man's attitude goes some ways, the way a man's life will be. And just it's like Adam just totally dumbfounded. He's talking about driving the buggy and how there's room for one more, and yeah, like it's just so good.
I think he's the tip of the iceberg, or I don't know. What I'm trying to say is he represents like this, like if we could channel all of this sort of corruption, this whole sort of conspiracy to one figure, this is the guy at the top, Like,
so I almost got more of an impression that he was almost even separated from it and like a figure that was warning him from like the darkness. I think it could go both ways. Like I think there's more to suggest that he's like part of the larger conspiracy.
Yeah, I think he is like maybe he was working for them or like a separate contractor, but he kind of seemed to be like a guy who's like, this is the way shit goes, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
just the cowboy on top of the fucking canyon.
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed to be like, oh, hey, I'm a nice guy. I'm here. I'm gonna help you. I think he's like, bro, it's either our way or the highway. you know?
Yeah. But just like, yeah, this the
I mean, he's
presence.
cool as shit. Like, yeah, sure, he's dope, but that guy's scary. That guy will straight
well, so-
murder you in your fucking
That's
sleep,
what I'm
dude.
saying. Well, he felt like that, like almost like an embodiment of death. Like, especially if this is a dream into death, like he's like the harbinger, the like the who's the one who rows you across the river Styx?
Oh, Karen?
Yeah, that's like the vibe he's giving me a little bit. So like in the plot of this story, like he feels like the yes, the like the conspiracy
The
piece,
shepherd
but
to the afterlife.
but in the actual like reality of what's
right,
happening.
right.
Yeah.
He is death on his pale horse.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, he gives me goosebumps in a good way.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool character. Hey, the guy's name is Monty Montgomery.
Oh, the actor?
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, I guess credited as Lafayette Montgomery,
Interesting.
but everyone called him Monty.
Love that. Love that for him.
Yeah, he was a producer on Twin Peaks.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
But
Betty.
yeah, I just want to say I love this. This is one of my favorite sort of like fun tropes in any sort of like movie with any sort of conspiracy or mystery around it is having a meeting with someone who speaks in riddles. He kind of reminds me of when like the dude runs into Sam Elliott in The Big Lebowski. Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.
I was getting some Morpheus vibes too.
It is this sort of like figure that speaks in this like
Riddles.
esoteric, like hard to parse kind of way. But then there's like these like certain levels of where they're like very like sort of like clear with you. There's like so much philosophy, and then there's like this point where he's basically like, let me make it a little bit more black and white. Like either you do or you don't, you know? I just love it. It feels like a stranger at a crossroads almost, you know?
Yeah, and just how blunt he is. Like, do you understand? You don't understand. You're just being a smart aleck. Why don't you try to think about it again and stop being a smart aleck and give me a straight answer? And he's not. There's not malice in his tone. It's just like very even and like
kind of like patronizing more so. Like
yeah.
But yeah, it is like because he is like asking these weird questions about like, do you understand what I'm talking about when I say this? And speaking in this like obtuse way, and then suddenly he's like, "You're gonna cast this girl," and you're like, "Okay."
Yeah, I love it.
Love the way he disappears. Just have to call it out again. Very cool.
Yes, the light going out, amazing.
But again, it's just like film stuff, just camera stuff. It's not like there's like it's not even like an array, like an arrêt, which is like where you have the camera like you like it's like an old film trick. Like you stop and then like have the actor move out of like frame and then like you keep filming and it looks like a continuous shot. They don't even do that. They cut to another place and then they cut back and you're like, where'd he go?
Love it.
Much more subtle. I love it. I love the subtlety of the surreal in this.
Yeah, because you don't know it leaves because it's the uncertainty of the supernatural, right? Because for all you know, he just started sprinting as soon as you like it flashed away for a moment, but it's so much more mysterious. Like, oh, did he just like disappear into shadows because he's death incarnate?
It's one of those examples of how like this has to be a movie to me. Like the medium supports like the storytelling and everything going on. Because if you write this in a book, like sure you can make it seem unsettling, but you have to put it into concrete words.
Yeah.
You can't just use images to imply things like what's happening here. You know?
Right. Absolutely.
Get another Hollywood sign.
Yeah, and I love the whole buildup of Betty and Rita are practicing the scene here.
This is kind of a classic trick we've seen before, and it's well like
I mean,
well
Reservoir
used.
Dogs, like setting up the rehearsing of the speech you're gonna give, and then seeing the execution of it in the circumstances and context of it.
What I was gonna say is like you think that she's telling her to leave.
Oh,
almost.
yes,
You know,
that
like
too, yes.
Like you're like, oh shit, okay, like what's going on here? And then it's like, oh no, they're just reading the sides together, and she's just like rehearsing. And you do see, I love the acting, good acting, like you know, like but also that she is like, it is kind of lame.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
lame. I like that.
I love it. Well done. Like, and it does make you like root for Betty because you're like, yeah, Betty fucking killed it. Like,
yeah,
I'm excited for her fucking audition. She's gonna do great.
How can you not love Betty? She's like the embodiment of purity and like innocence.
Yeah, I mean, she's a little too chipper, you know.
Sure.
A little too chipper, real corny. I could tell you plenty of ways you don't like Betty.
That's fair. I just mean as a human being, like it's hard. It's a hard person to just be like, I don't like them.
Yeah, I guess you like. Well, if you rewatch it, you're like, I know you're not really Betty.
Yeah.
It's a mask.
Yeah, absolutely. a mask for herself, but probably like we said, like layers of truth of how she used to be.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. We all need mirrors to remind us who we are. Let me get that tattooed on me,
It's
dude.
funny every time.
Thanks, dude.
Rita meets Coco, kind of. She walks in on her and she's like, "Who the hell are you?" And Coco pulls Betty outside, and like her aunt had called, and I love that Betty is like lying to her about how the conversation went, and that her aunt like misheard her and like didn't, and is like not thinking straight or whatever. And Coco sees straight through it, and she's like, she says something really funny. I didn't write it down, but like, that's a bunch of horse pocky or whatever.
Yeah, it is good. I do kind of love that Coco is like, you know what? I respect you enough to let you handle your shit. Okay.
Yeah, but don't make me look like a fool.
Don't make me look like a fool. Handle your shit.
Yeah, I love that too. And we get a quick shot of the spooky guys, the suits driving by
There's
the
a car
house.
that seems to roll by. Seems to be looking for Rita, perhaps.
Yeah, Betty goes to her audition. I think this scene is so wild.
This scene is like very uncomfortable too.
Yes,
Like the hand, like looking at where people's hands are going,
yes.
and the way he's holding her, like
yeah, I totally noticed that too. He just has his arm wrapped around her like the whole time he's introducing her.
yeah, it's
and
unsettling.
And we're
then,
gonna do this close like the other girl.
yeah, and then Wally is
It's so funny.
But then
dude.
she-
He
I-
really cracked me up. The director.
no, that's not Wally. Wally's the
Oh,
producer.
yes,
Then
that's right.
later she's like, "Oh, but Wally, he seems so sweet," and I was like, "Oh man," probably what that person would say in that situation,
Yeah.
even though I like get kind of like sleazeball vibes from him, like, you know. And then the director, yeah, seems super checked out, like
Well, just in the
has no idea what's going on.
I love that Wally asked him, like, "Do you have anything to say before the scene starts?" And he goes, "No." And then he starts going into this really like convoluted explanation of how to like, this scene is yourselves be each other, like,
Yeah,
just like
he-
shit that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's a bad director. He's like not like he's just like no, like and Wally keeps having to prompt him to say stuff, you know, to like contribute to the conversation.
Don't play it for real until it's real.
Yeah, he does say that. Yes. Yes, he does say that. That's fucking
So funny.
But yeah, and then this is like also I just want to like the implication of this story and this big speech that seems to be almost like the denouement of the story is like a girl is having
An
like
affair.
a affair with her dad's best friend.
Yeah.
But like we don't know how old the girl is or how long it's been going on. So there's implications of like grooming to me,
Yeah.
like inherent within it,
Yeah.
that are so disturbing.
Interesting.
And then we have the whole age difference, you know, and the like lead male actor that they have cast. And like you said, he's kind of sleazy too. He's like, well, we're gonna play it real close, you know, and he's like, acting is reacting. So you do all the work for me. Is basically like, you know, you don't speed it up, I don't speed it up, all this bullshit. But then holy shit, dude.
Amazing scene. Yeah.
And what's great about it is that it's more real than everything else that happens around it.
Yes.
Any other scene with Betty is nowhere near that level
I was
of
blown
like,
away. I was just like, this is amazing.
really well done. Naomi Watts fucking kills it in this role. dude.
I was
the
like,
two sides of her too. Like you said, Laura Henning has I think less to do
yeah.
with this, and like that's okay because that's like the sort of role that she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it also just it fits the dark and mysterious. We don't
Herring.
we don't ever truly get to know her.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what I would realize if I were Diane on my like dying moments is like I never really knew her. She was just an object into which I poured my lust and desire, you know?
Oof, that's heavy. I love that.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, I see it. I
she
mean,
fell in love with a mirror, dude, because we all need mirrors to remind us who we are. What's fun about it too is that there's the part though, the very specific part where like it kind of takes the turn where like he stops himself from grabbing her ass, but she like puts it on there and like encourages it, and then like wow. And also they had talked about how like the way that people read it a lot was that women would kind of like really sort of get like really emotionally the implication was like kind of like louder, angrier, you know, like I felt like I hate you or whatever. And she does it so quiet and reserved.
just the way like you had to like lean in basically to like get pulled into this moment.
Oh,
And
it's
a
so
scene
good.
within a dream within a movie.
Yeah,
like,
it's really
I love
good.
it, man.
She fucking kills it. And then you're definitely like, yeah, fuck yeah, Betty, good for you. And as they're leaving, the casting director who was there, but who wasn't working on the project, this lady, Linny, they're like, yeah, that movie's never gonna get made.
Yeah,
you
which
know?
is really funny too.
Yeah, I love it. They're like, no. I mean, Wally's old, you know. But we can get you in front of a director who's like actually gonna make a movie.
Yeah.
And he's gonna love you. And so they take her to the set. And what's interesting is Adam and her never talk to each other in this dream world. They just make eye
Yeah.
contact, and he is enamored by her.
Yeah, it's like love at first sight is what I wrote down, which almost it's the
I was getting like Muse, like
like you are
she is,
my
she,
perfect actor.
she
That
is-
fits better.
like
Yeah.
she is the person for the role.
Yeah, in the line, I didn't know where the movie was going, but I'm like, you write this line this way for a reason. She says to her, he's got a project you're going to kill.
Yeah, yeah, she does say that. Yeah, good little foreshadowing.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I love. Yeah, Bob was also funny. You know, where he's like, "So Bob, what do you think?" Oh, good. Maybe a little force. Like, fuck you, Bob.
Yeah,
You
it's
have no idea what
amazing.
you're talking about. Yeah.
And just this Motown recording
Very cool.
performance. It's so good.
And the way like we slowly move out and see it is like a set,
it's
and it is
really
being filmed.
awesome performance, and just like
And
the
this
way
is the
shot-
audition, which is insane.
It kind of reminded me of Boogie Nights, like the sets in that.
Yeah, for sure. But it also just wild to think they're like this is how they're auditioning people. Like there's a lot going into that, but it's cool. I dig
Yeah,
it. Like,
I
very
love-
big production. For
I love
just
that
auditions.
Every time we see Adam in the director's chair, just nonstop chain smoking. Like we even see him like finish a cigarette. And he has
David Lynch
another
himself,
cigarette.
dude, just like man after David Lynch's heart. There's also there's Justin Theroux, a resident Hollywood sexy man,
Yeah.
fucking from The Leftovers and shit. The Leftovers, who the theme was written by Max Richter.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep, there you go, buddy.
Love that. It's all coming together. Cinema Forecast.
Yeah, I have this dude. I worked on a film project with him. This writer-director, Manello. He just started doing this thing where he like is printing like his own digital media onto like he's basically like bootlegging like DVDs and shit and making his own covers. It's fucking sick, dude. And I think he posted today. He has like The Leftovers season 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's sick. I love it.
That's awesome.
Fuck yeah. Physical media pirate, dude.
Hell yeah, brother.
And then we have so he does this first edition too with this woman named Carol who seems to do a great job. She seems really cool.
Yeah.
Seems like really
amazing
awesome
voice.
person.
She actually.
I think they're lip syncing though.
Yeah.
Like I think that's part of like what the audition is for.
Yeah.
But she is and she seems to like they have a good rapport and she's like, I'm gonna get this role, and he's like, well, I gotta audition everyone, and then next person up is Camilla Rhodes.
Yeah. And just the way he reacts to this whole
This
sequence.
is the girl.
Yeah. And just the guy standing behind his shoulder.
Yeah,
just like
he calls Jason over, and Jason, just looks like a demon, like standing over a contract about to be signed in blood,
Yeah, it's really good, really dark, really ominous.
Yeah. What I love about it though is that we've seen this guy be like scared of someone else, but
Mm-hmm.
he also just is scary in a scene.
Yeah,
It's almost these different layers of evil, and
totally.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, all going back to Mr. Roke and the cowboy, perhaps.
Yeah, and then Betty has to leave because she's a good friend. And we see Adam just staring longingly after her.
Yeah, so interesting because I couldn't remember. I'm like, oh, is there a love story here? Like, and it's like, oh no, not at all.
No. It's the desire to be desired.
Yeah.
And then Rita and Betty are getting into the cab. They're going to the address for D. Selwyn.
Mm-hmm.
They notice men in a car in front, and there's this whole like. Now we're like getting real paranoid because we're worried that someone's after
Yeah,
Rita.
they're ducking down in the
so
car.
they go around the back, and then they get into Sierra Bonita Apartments. They see that Selwyn is number 12. We get another moment of paranoia with like the dude in front of the door, but actually he's just helping this woman with her like baggage.
Yeah.
Finally get to the door. Knock on the door.
And I think her name. I don't know if I wrote down her name. We might not even get her name.
I don't know.
But
if we get her name.
so we're at apartment 12, and what you find out is that Diane Selwyn, switched apartments with her and is actually at apartment 17. And like, dude, the reveal of this at the end, like why this is happening, just absolutely blew my mind. Like, such a good twist, like so many layers. Like, right, she's on the run from the cops because
she switches apartments so that the cops won't
which
find
isn't
her.
gonna work. What, you think they're gonna stop looking for you? But just like such a strange thing to do.
Also, wild that the lady agreed to it, you know?
Yeah. I take it they're friends, but they're so cold to each other in that scene.
There was a part of me as well that was like, were they like involved together romantically?
Her
maybe
and the
like
neighbor?
like a rebound or something.
I could see that maybe.
And then like that's how things sort of happened, or
things got mixed together.
I mean, maybe she even manipulated her so that they could be together, and then she could like take her apart. I don't know, but there just felt like there was other shit there, like because again, how like that's a if they're just casual neighbors, like that just didn't track for me for like fully switching apartments, you know?
Yeah, it felt like a deep favor, but I didn't feel like I needed to know the context. But yeah, it's an interesting question for sure.
Yeah, because what I was thinking is like, oh, they lived together, and then like she moved out into another apartment in the same complex, but the other apartment had already been in her name or something. Like, was a possibility. But again, just the fact that they switch apartments and then how it comes up later is wild. Yeah. Because in the moment, like linearly, and that's one of the nice things about non-linear things, that some of these things that don't stand up so much to like being like to being inspected this heavily, like just work because you're like, oh, it's just unsettling, like it's unsettling
it's just
here,
and then
the contextualization,
mystery.
like
exactly.
So it doesn't need to be that like deep, you know.
Totally, and it fits into that theme. The details overlooked. Yeah. All the little pieces that you don't realize the context until you see it in a different way.
Yeah. But they say that they're gonna go and check 17. The lady's like, yeah, she hasn't been there for a while, and they're like, we'll leave a message. She's like, oh, I'll go with you. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I need to get some more of my things, right?
Yeah, which is true.
Which we see later on.
That's just like a direct, like that's the more mundane thing happening in this dream, which is like,
but it feels,
her neighbor just wants.
No, but it feels so sinister. It feels like she's in on it. Like she's looking for Diane too, right? Like she's someone who's been planted maybe to wait and see if somebody comes looking for Diane, right? Totally. And then she gets held up by a phone call. Yep. Then they break into the house. Yep. And I do love that now we have this moment where like you see how much Betty's getting carried away by this. And she even says at one point earlier, she's like, it'll be just like a movie. Yeah. And Rita's like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, let me in, like give me a boost.
Rita like tries to stop her from knocking on the door. Yeah. Which is like
there's so many moments where Rita's like, it's almost like let's just like enjoy the dream. Right. Let's not uncover the skeletons in the closet, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about it feels like Rita doesn't really want anything, right? Like she's just kind of innocent.
No, I mean she's this dream golem that desires to be desired.
I love dream golem.
Well, it's like they're not real people in your dreams, you know, right?
Yeah, that's constructs.
They're like these parts of who you are or what you want, like made like to flesh, but not flesh really, made to fluff. Dream fluff.
Dream fluff, baby.
Dream fluff. New musical project.
Right when we see the door open, you see
something smells bad.
Betty, like immediately
somebody took a massive dookie in there.
Immediately I'm like, okay, there's a dead body.
Either that or a fat shit. That kangaroo got locked up in here.
How real it gets seeing that corpse. Yeah. It is horrifying. It looks so disturbing.
It's cool the shots they do later where like you see it look alive and you can tell just by the quality of the skin that it looks alive and then it's dead again. Like that's fucking wild.
And like it's so significant and you won't realize until the end.
Yeah. It's like her like looking at herself like dying.
Horrible.
Pretty sick, dude, honestly.
It's awesome, but it's horrible. It's metal.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's fucking sick, dude. Fucking love it. And then Rita starts screaming because Rita can't hold her fucking shit, you know? Yeah. And Betty's like trying to cover her mouth as the apartment 12 lady like walks up and then eventually walks away.
Yeah, the super trippy, camera trick here where they're running out of the house and it's like a bunch of after images like overlapping with each other, like dealing with the stress of that situation. Very trippy. And then we get Rita cutting her hair in the sink.
Yeah, she wants to cut her hair. But Betty stops her and she's like, I know what you need to do and I want you to let me do it for you. And you're like, okay, she's gonna cut her hair. And then you think, oh, she cut her hair and she dyed it blonde? So they look more alike.
And I was like, that's a bad wig. Like because I thought it was like her having cut her hair and then dyed. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look like they did that at all.
And it's actually a wig and her hair is the same.
I was like, oh, okay,
that's so strange.
Yeah, well, so that's like I said earlier, my my conspiracy theory was that they were the same person, so I thought she was like becoming her or whatever. And it's like,
Well, the dream, it is like a symbol of her like desires, like her wants, but it is also a symbol of perhaps like who she desires to be. Like she wants to be someone who's desired,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know.
so sad.
Yeah, it is sad. It's sad. It's very sad. But hey,
They sleep together here.
well, yeah. So she's like, Betty's like,
Wait, that happens right now already?
yeah, Betty's
Holy
basically
shit.
like, you can sleep in the bed with me. I shouldn't have let you sleep in the couch. Like, come on, there's plenty of room here. And then Rita just fully nude gets into the bed. She's also wearing the wig, and that's when she takes it off, and we see that she's still got all her hair. Because I was like, she like shave her head or something? No, they just put a wig on her.
Yeah.
This is a very weird choice.
Yeah. I don't
This
know.
is so strange, but I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, she gets into her bed with her, fully nude, and they're like, she's like, yeah, and then they just start fucking making out.
It's very steamy. One thing, because again, I didn't remember what the fuck was gonna happen. The dissonant music
Yeah.
over this whole scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this so uncomfortable? Because I'm so immersed and like rooting for this relationship, and I'm like, why does it feel so wrong? What is the twist? I don't remember.
Yeah. And then Betty does say, you know, as we mentioned before, she starts saying, "I'm in love with you. I'm in love with,"
Yeah.
and it's so strange. Like she says
Yeah.
it twice, and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it felt very
Very weird.
unnatural.
Yeah. It's supposed to be unsettling, and
yeah,
it is.
It
you know?
is. This is the first exposure you get to her madness, right?
Yeah, it's leaking through from reality.
Yeah.
And then they're sleeping, and we have Rita saying "silencio"
Oh
in her sleep.
man.
Silencio, no hay banda. Which, for those who don't speak Spanish, silencio means silence, and no hay banda means there is no band.
Yeah. No orchestra too. To say that.
Il n'est pas orchestra. That's
Yeah.
in French.
I see.
And then Betty wakes up to Rita talking. She's like, "It's okay, it's okay." And Rita's like, "No, it's not okay."
So this very much triggered a moment from my past for me, because I I once had a girlfriend over, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and she was like walking back and forth, kind of like frustrated, and she had what is known as aphasia, where she couldn't speak. And I had took her to the hospital, and then it just kind of like faded away. But so like I've had a moment waking up with a loved one just like totally confused about where they're at before. So I was like, oh damn, trippy.
That's wild. The word aphasia, the first time I remember hearing it was in a dream.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I was talking to someone and I couldn't figure out how to put something, and I was like, "I'm so sorry, I have aphasia."
That's so funny.
And I didn't know what it meant. And then I woke up and I was like, "Mom, what's aphasia?" And she's like, "I think it's when like you have like you can't like talk."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, that's wild."
Yeah.
So I like must have somehow like sunk in while like in my waking life, and then like I didn't really realize that I had learned it
That was
until I
just
was
the
like in
dream
the dream.
waking
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
I think I was like talking to a dog in the dream too.
I love that.
Yeah.
I had a trippy ass dream after watching this movie last night.
I don't want to hear about your dream. I like the okay. I want to point out when they're at Winky's, he's like, "Well, I had this dream." And he's like, "Okay, here we go."
Oh, yeah, just the way that whole conversation goes down, as I mentioned, just so uncanny and like silly. Like there's such a G. Willikers vibe to so much of it.
But it's also kind of it's a Lynchian sort of thing.
Yeah.
The G. Willikers of it.
I'm into it.
What was your dream?
Oh, it's a blurry mess and disturbing. So I'm actually not gonna go into it.
So exactly like this podcast episode.
And then she's like, I want you to go somewhere with me.
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. And she's like, okay, I'll go with you anywhere, baby. I love you forever. And
so they catch a cab together, and Rita is wearing the blonde wig.
yeah, and everything about this theater you said was called before the podcast Silencio. That's the name of the theater.
Club Silencio.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. So
yeah, actually, so like they get out of like the fucking cab, and then something is jolting. It does that whole Lynch jolting towards the camera. There's shots like this in Twin Peaks too. It's jolting towards them, and then you see that on the top it says Silencio.
okay, yeah, this whole part, this feels different than everything else in the movie so far. This feels like it's going off the rails, right? But like in a very interesting way.
Yeah, it also feels like, oh my God, Rita's finally unlocked a part of her past.
Yeah, but just like, yeah, the way it's like, what is this club at 3 a.m. they're going to? That's like,
It's like a lip sync show,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Everything
yeah.
is pre-recorded. Everything, like, there's no actual music, there's no band,
Yeah.
and the guy shows it off, and there's these cool shots.
Yeah,
The guy playing the
it's great.
trumpet, but then he puts the trumpet down.
There's the lady with the blue hair up in the balcony.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like think much of. I was like, oh, that's weird. But then it's like one of the final shots.
And she
if
says,
not the final shot.
and she says silencio.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Yeah,
It's so
she
trippy, dude.
she is supposedly like the way that she's sitting there is modeled after fucking Lincoln when he was assassinated. Isn't that weird?
Oh my goodness. Well, like with the themes of the movie, that's insane.
I think it's someone like passing judgment. Perhaps it's perhaps like Peter at the gates of heaven, or her soul being weighed, or whatever. Like,
and another harbinger of death kind of thing. Yeah.
not so much a harbinger of death, but a welcomer to the
yeah.
to like someone who would welcome you to the fucking
the gatekeeper.
to the next world.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the right word for it, but
I mean, like the Egyptians said that they would like weigh your heart against a feather, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I love that.
So like whoever
That's
that
so cool.
is, that like a new was it Osiris who did it? I can't remember. Anyway,
I don't know.
sick shit though.
Love it. It's so cool. So it's all recorded. It's all an illusion. There's like flashes while this is happening, and Betty starts having like a seizure.
Yeah, well, yeah, the thunderclaps.
Yeah.
But this is fun because it is like a commentary on performance and like narrative, like art, right?
Yeah.
Like it feels very much like it's like, oh, when you watch a movie, it's so easy to tell yourself like what you're seeing is real.
Yeah.
And this is the part where the movie's like, don't believe your eyes.
It's
like
deconstructing.
Yeah, it's like,
but it's also deconstructing the dream.
yeah. Because it is
so
drawing
wild.
this parallel between dreams and film, right?
Yeah.
Like this sort of thing of like, it seems so real, but it's like not,
I love it.
But it is though, because the truth to it is deeper
They're
than
still crying.
Yeah.
When she's singing.
and it
Yeah.
the truth that is found through the like experiences of art or dreams where the events are not like actually what happened, like that truth or those like things we discover about ourselves almost transcend like truth and reality in a way, right? Where like they are that much deeper.
Yeah, I totally agree. 100%. We are possibly in a dream right now. All we can trust is our senses, right? So it's like you just get this one sliver of reality, and that is your truth, right? But what is that?
No, we have a top going in the middle of the desk and it keeps falling over. So I think we're okay.
Yeah, they bring out Rebecca Del Rio.
And that's her actual name. That
Oh,
is
the actor?
yeah, she is known for doing the
Is this her
the
song?
Spanish language cover of "Crying"
Oh,
by I think it's by Roy Orbison. Here, let me see. I think it's here in the
well, it's a beautiful song.
yeah.
Touching scene of them crying, and yeah, I thought Naomi Watts' performance here was so interesting because like Rita's like bawling, and like we said, if this is the transition between reality and like dream and death and all that, this is her like coming to terms with things in a really complicated way, and I think her performance kind of shows that, where she has like this almost like fear, uncertainty in her eyes.
Yeah. It's so good. It's really, 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 really lovely. Actually, dude, R.I.P. to Rebecca Del Rio. She just passed away June 23rd of this year.
Ah, bummer.
She was 57 years old.
Oh,
But yes,
bummer.
the song was by Roy Orbison and Joe Melson. So the like, what she's saying in the song is, and I'm sure people have heard the English language version, but I wasn't super familiar with it, and I just jotted down some
Yeah, I was gonna
translations
ask you.
as
I'm
I was.
curious because of course it's relevant.
So she's saying, crying for your love. After your goodbye, I felt all my pain. Alone and crying. It's not easy to understand that when I see you again, I will be crying. I thought I forgot you, but this time it's the truth that I love you so much more than yesterday. Tell me what I can do. Some more stuff, and then crying for your love. But yeah, it is like and it is like super on the nose. Like,
yeah, which is great that it's an extra layer being in a different language.
Yeah.
Did it take away from it for you being able to understand it?
How would I know if it took away from it being able to understand it?
Yeah, but like, do you think it would? Like, do you
think it would?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you've seen movies or heard songs in another language before. Does it add something to it when you hear a different language versus understanding it, like, do you think that affected the scene for you?
Um, I mean, the answer is of course, but like it's impossible to say which way.
Sure.
Like this is the only way my brain has ever been. You know, I understand what you mean, but like, how does it register for me? I guess there's a sense of I'm always happy to see Spanish in movies. So there's a sense of like as I said previously, I don't know if like pride is the right word. I don't really but like a sense of like I feel seen seeing my native language like portrayed in movies.
Mm-hmm.
The language itself is so emotional and so tied to family for me. So there's a deep sense of like, I guess if it had been in English, what would I have thought? No, like knowing the lyrics, I would have been moved as well. I don't think it would have felt quite as like a personal performance. And I think honestly, when people sing in their own language, ultimately that's what it is. Like with the distilled part of it is it's a deeply personal thing. And even if you don't understand the lyrics, it's like a peek into their heart.
Yeah.
So I think if it had been like saying like a language that I completely don't comprehend, then I maybe would have just felt like, oh, this person is letting us peek into a very intimate moment and I connect with that and it makes me feel shit.
Yeah.
And that's how these people are sort of like feeling as well.
Yeah.
I think from the dream state, it is the fact that Camilla seems to be a Spanish speaker in like a scene and is maybe like this sort of like, I don't know, this sort of like way to like, this dream way of like thinking about like your former love and kind of like all like embodied in like song and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. But it was cool. I liked it a lot. I like this scene. Maybe one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's so
like
trippy.
Very beautifully done.
And I love that it climaxes with her like fainting or dying, and they just like drag her off stage. And then right after this,
but the music is still going.
Yeah,
which I love that.
Yeah, because
bit.
that completes the message.
That's the whole bit. Yeah. I also like what I love about the scene is like that it's just like this weird hip thing that if you told me like, bro, it's like called Club Silence. It's like this performative piece, and like everything's pre-recorded, and they're just like lip syncing. I'd be like, okay,
I feel like
I want to go. Like, I want to see. That sounds cool. Like, let me check this out.
I would be like, I guess I'll go, but like,
I would be interested.
I would rather see live music.
It seems like some hip, like shit you would see, you know, like, and like, but see, that's the thing. You would tell me like, okay, they do that, and I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of corny. They're like, no, man. They like unlock the art of it. And I'm like
that now I'm sold. Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, what, like, how do you mean? It's like, well, you got to see, man. Like it really, like it fucks with you. Right. And then I'm like, okay.
I think it's a brilliant scene.
Yeah. It's like, and again, seems like something cool I wonder if those are like real, like if there's actual, like,
I could see it. Yeah, for sure.
I could see it. Anything could be real, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if he just invented this type of performance, like, damn, dude, good job.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like it. I wonder if it's like based on something he saw, you know?
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that a lot throughout the movie, like, especially with all the Hollywood stuff, like how much of this is just like straight up biographical. Yeah, and then Betty pulls out the blue cube, just like out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's from her friggin' purse.
Yeah, and they just like run home, and like you said earlier, like where it just cut back to them being at home. Now they're just back at home. They're running through the house. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And because you remember the blue key. I mean, how can you not remember the blue key? So you're like, oh, what's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? And so Rita
and then it turns into the movie Seven out of nowhere, and David Lynch becomes David Lyncher, David Fincher.
Oh my goodness, it's all connected.
It is.
The way this is done is so disturbing and like weird to me, but like I love it. Just like the way Rita pulls out the box, she like is about to put the key in, she turns around and Betty's just like gone. And then she opens the box and the camera just like goes into the box and then falls on the floor.
And then the box drops. But then it's Ruth in the house.
Yeah.
And then Ruth just walks into the room and the room is empty. And then you don't even see the box. And then there's the rumble and suddenly we're moving through the darkness. We see this body, this woman laying in the bed in apartment 17, but again her skin looks better and alive. And then we hear the cowboy guy is there.
So we do
Oh,
see
we
him
do
two
see him.
more times.
Oh my fuck, we did a
We're bad
job.
boys.
Oh man. And then he says, "Hey pretty girl, time to wake up."
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking weird. And then like there's the darkness flickering, and then it comes back and her skin looks bad, and like she's dead again, and she doesn't get up.
Yeah.
And again it's death
Yeah.
calling to her,
Yeah,
right?
Time to get up.
Because
Time
she
to
did
go.
get up, like her soul
Yeah, that's
like
my theory,
exited
man.
the
This
body.
is the fucking
body,
Grim Reaper cowboy man.
Yeah, for sure. And he's also pale,
Yeah.
and he's wearing like a white hat. So again, like
the pale
death rides a pale horse. you know?
Oh, that's such a good point. Oh my god.
And then we fade to Betty again in the red sheets, but she's not Betty. We hear the knocking on the door that wakes her up, and it's clear she's not Betty when you see her face.
Well,
you
and
know?
I recognize the apartment, so I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, no, yeah,
right.
yeah.
She's Diane.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, this whole part just blew my mind, even though I'd seen it before.
Yeah, and then the lady calls her Diane. She wants her shit back.
There's a
the
blue key on the
blue
table.
key. I was about to say there's the blue key on the coffee table.
which we.
It's coming up.
Yeah, but I'm just like, well, like I know she gets it from the assassin, but it's like, what is the blue key?
It's one of David Lynch's signatures is like the color blue. Like not one of his signatures, but one of the things that comes up. I mean, blue velvet.
Blue velvet.
Yeah, I guess he also there's also like blue lights and blue eyeshadow, blue-haired ladies, blue smoke, you know, all these different things throughout his movies.
Yeah.
I think that blue feels like a very unnatural color. Like, and I think it kind of speaks to like the metaphysical.
Well, I was thinking like the color of the sky, the sea, like endless, boundless.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, that's true. When I say it's kind of unnatural, like I mean like dye-wise, you know, like it's like a dye that
Well, yeah, contrast.
not a lot
so
of things
hard.
you eat are
Like
like
I'm just
blue.
looking at your kitchen right now, and it's like you have a little bit of blue, and it pops. You know, it pops.
Thanks. Look at the couch now. Look behind you.
Oh damn, that's a lot of blue.
Oh,
You're wearing blue,
too. Yeah, I'm wearing a very cool shirt. I've mentioned it before on this show. I'm wearing They Are Gutting a Body of Water shirt that is also a Philadelphia 76ers shirt.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, basketball and shoegaze.
Diane.
But then she also mentions the two detectives that are looking for Diane again.
Yeah. And Diane sees Camila. I don't know. I don't remember how she sees her. After this, she makes coffee. I don't remember what the context of her seeing Camila. Maybe she's just already on the couch, and then we get the.
No, what happens is she's sitting in front of she's gonna make herself coffee.
Yeah.
Right. But it's before she makes herself coffee. She's like looking out like the sort of like window next to like the sink, and she like turns and sees Camilla in the apartment, and she's really excited, and she's like, I'm like excited that she's back. And then we see her call who we've known as Rita, Camilla. And then it cuts back to her staring, and it cuts back to where Camilla was standing.
Right.
But it's fucking Diane standing there.
Yeah.
And she's making herself coffee. And she also kind of looks kind of like disgusted with herself. It's this weird like time crossy like cut. It's really like an awesome like filmmaking technique. I liked it a lot. Like immediately noticed it, thought it looked really cool.
And as we mentioned, like the movie was so dreamlike and colorful, and it's still like dreamlike, but it's now much more grounded in reality. Like this is like she's in a bad place. She's just like feeling sorry for herself. If like the conversation between her and her neighbor feels very like real. It's
super like it like they capture it so perfectly. They then like once she starts making the coffee, they cut to a wide shot of the kitchen, just her standing all the way on the left side of the kitchen, just like with her back facing us, and it looks so lonely and so like, you know.
Yeah, and then Camila's on the couch.
Well, the coffee's done. This is a cool transition. Coffee's done. She grabs the mug, walking towards the couch with the mug. Suddenly, as she's coming over the couch, Camilla is there. In her hand, it's not coffee anymore. It's whiskey on the rocks.
Oh,
and she's
I didn't
not
notice
wearing.
that.
She's
I
wearing
love
different
that.
clothes. Now she's shirtless. Well, no, they're both topless in like shorts. And then like she gets on top of her and like they like start like kissing. But yeah, this is I sort of alluded to the scene earlier. Camilla first says, you drive me wild, but then says we shouldn't do this anymore, which again points to me being like, this lady is like, whew, you know, like there's something about she doesn't know what she wants, you know, and she's
Yeah.
like, seems like she's kind of maybe using this person to get her
But
kicks,
again,
you know.
is it just a representation of how Betty sees everything?
Yeah.
But she also paints herself ugly if this is still her perception. And like, I don't know if this is actually what happened
No, for sure.
because this felt very real. It doesn't.
Yeah,
We're not,
For sure. I mean, I've said this to you so many times. You know, we
Yeah.
can't trust what we see on that silver screen, baby. But yeah, and then we have her sort of like forcing herself onto her, and Camilla's like,
getting aggressive.
"Yeah, stop! Don't do it." And then Diane says, "It's him, isn't it?"
Yeah. And then we get the scene.
We're on set, and we see Adam, the director.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is, but we'll call him Adam.
And it's always just fun to see a director directing in a movie.
Yeah, this was kind of wild though.
Yes. I mean, it's very like dark, but
this
like
is so gross. Like he's
Yeah.
just like, let me show you how to like talk to her,
and then
like when
into
you
the
kiss her, yeah.
No, it's
And
definitely
it seems
gross.
like they're already together, right?
Yeah.
But it would like imagine working for like a director.
Who's making out with your co-star? Yeah.
Well, okay, you know they're going out, right?
Yeah.
But like that kind of PDA, it's so unprofessional, you know, dude. It's like, ugh. And he's like,
But he's doing
kill
the
the
scene.
lights, you know. It's gross. But yeah, we see like Diane looking on, and Camilla sort of like casting glances over at Diane. And again, are they real? Are they imagined? But you are like, fuck. You get a feeling of like, I think the sort of despair that Diane is feeling
I mean,
with
she's
her obsession
losing the person
with
she
Camilla.
loves. Yeah.
And then we see them arguing at the doorway.
Yeah, they
She
break up.
slams the door in her face. She says, "It's not easy for me," you know.
And then we get a sad masturbation that turns into aggressive masturbation.
Yeah. Oh my God, the way the stones are going in and out of like
the
focus, like,
yeah.
and yeah, her body posture. I think apparently, understandably so, Naomi Watts was a little uncomfortable with the filming of that scene.
I bet.
Originally, but she said it was the most difficult to film. So they had like a small tent cover her head so she wouldn't have to see the cast or crew, and then David Lynch directed and guided her through the scene, but wouldn't cut even when she was like kind of like most distressed by like, you know. But
I mean, that's what they're going for.
Yeah. Anyway, I love that little tent. That's nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
Little tent for your head. Wish I had a little tent for my head when I was recording this podcast.
I know.
And I wouldn't get
man.
nervous.
Yeah, and then we get the phone call next to the red lamp, which, you know, again, we mentioned earlier, ties again together with what we saw earlier, the conspiracy, everything, all these little pieces that were in the dream are like fragments of reality, or, you know, again, is this even reality? Because one thing that really stood out to me is, so she's switched apartments at this point. This is the apartment 17 or whatever, but the cops aren't even looking for her at this point. Or is it her just like what? Because she's imagining herself with Camila in the apartment, so that part can't be real, right? Because she switched apartments because she did the hitman thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Or maybe just the apartments have a similar enough like layout, you know? Like
Yeah.
we never see inside of apartment 12.
It's true enough too.
You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, I take it as like a memory mixed in with reality, but like interjected into this location.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I wonder.
So this is when Camila calls her and invites her to this party.
Well, what's cool is that the phone rings
Mhm.
while in the masturbation scene. Like, cut to the next scene where it's obviously at a different point in time where she's dressed up.
J-cut?
A J cut of sorts. I think it's like a match J cut, like, because I think her phone rings in that scene as well. Like, I think the phone rings in both scenes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the phone rings and we see that red phone, like the red room with the red lamp, and like then we get the context of, oh, it's Diane's phone, and it's Camilla letting her know that the car is there to take her to some sort of party, and she says the address, 6980 Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, spooky. Ominous.
Yeah.
And
69 is a scary number for some people. Not me. I'm not scared.
Well, we know that this is where the movie started, right? Going to Mulholland Drive, and then the gun gets pulled on her. So I'm
we
waiting.
see the Mulholland Drive sign again, all
Yeah.
ominous, you know. She's in the back seat of the limo. Everything's sort of been like, oh shit, now she's in the place, and she says, "What are you doing? We don't stop here."
Yeah.
Same as the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
Freaky.
And what I was talking about with like some of the path themes, Camila just kind of like comes out of the forest.
Yeah.
Like
I
some
do
mystical
like
creature.
the driver says, a surprise.
Yeah, a surprise. And the surprise is a secret path
Yeah.
through the
A
forest.
little shortcut.
Yeah. And they arrive at the party, and it's Adam's party.
Yeah.
Around the pool.
It seems to be like an announcement of their engagement. That
yeah.
comes later, but it
The
feels
way
like
it's done too.
Oh, you don't
my
never hear him
God.
say it.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Oof. Yeah.
And then we see Coco is actually Adam's mother.
Yeah, another just moment. I'm like, oh,
I have
crazy.
to point out
This is
here, there's
crazy.
this beautiful thing when you're doing these shots with like shallow depth of field. We get these close-ups of Diane, and in the background the lights start to take on these shapes, like and that's just based the way like the like light hits like the lens. It's called bokeh, which is I think a Japanese term, Bokeh, and the bokeh in the fucking background of this shot like is so beautiful. Like there's two different versions of it. There's one where it's like very close and very shallow, and they're like almost like the lights are like kind of like squared off or kind of like pentagons or like sort of like hexagons like of light behind her, and then like there's a little bit of a wider one where they're just these like sort of beautiful almost like tips of like candles like glowing in the
That's
in, like
amazing.
the background.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, I was too like drawn into all these twists and stuff.
Yeah, it's just something I would like, you know.
No, that's great.
It's something I was like, oh fuck, that looks so fucking good. When I first got like a camera, like a digital camera, DSLR, and started like fucking around a lot with like lenses and like different like and the aperture settings and you know really getting to know how like a camera works. That was one of the things that, you know, I would watch YouTube videos and they'd be like shallow depth of field bokeh. This is very like stylistic thing, and so yeah, I felt like, you know, I was like, oh, I know what that is.
That's great. I love it.
It looked beautiful.
Yeah, and Adam cheers to or like says here's to love, and I don't get the impression that Adam knew they were in a relationship.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so at all.
Yeah, and then we find out like they go to dinner. Or they're having dinner.
Yeah.
And you find out the aunt is dead, which is just like this other layer of just eerie creepiness, living in the home of your dead aunt, like in your dream
Yeah,
state.
that's right. That's so true.
Yeah, just like all these little pieces, man, that just fit this insane puzzle piece. And
yeah, I have something that I've been saving for the end that that I think all of this is gonna be very interesting to talk about. But I'll just tease it a little bit now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is where we get the line. I got the pool, she got the pool man, and then there's
It's
just
a funny line.
It's a good line, but just like the laughter after is just like, especially with where you know Diane's state of mind is just like so mocking and pretentious sounding.
And then you know the woman who comes up and kisses her is Camilla Rhodes from before.
Oh, I didn't notice. I was like, she looks familiar.
Which is why I think she puts on the whole like Camilla Rhodes persona.
Yeah.
To her and like to this like particular lady who made her so jealous, right?
Yeah.
And then again, is she even real or you know?
I mean, I definitely don't think they just like made out there. Like that makes no sense in the context of this scene.
I don't know. I could see a rationale for it, you know, like I mean,
but like the way
but my read of it is paranoia, like for sure.
Yeah.
It is paranoia, but like but yeah, I mean, you know, I'm
well, the way like she's just like giving like Diane's giving like demon eyes to them while they're doing this, and then like Camila just like smiles at her afterwards. Like it just feels very much like this is her projecting like this fear onto her.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe like, you know, a little bit of like hedonistic Hollywood situation, and it's like, oh, this playful sort of thing from this other girl. And it's not really anything. And
which is possible too.
Yeah, for sure. Again, my read is that it's paranoia and it doesn't actually happen. But I could see something where who knows? I think what it actually is like she comes up and whispers something to her, right? And then she just like
sees that as
she's like, yeah. And what we're being shown is like, oh, they're together. She's also like, she's fucking her, like, you know, which is why she becomes that like weird figure in the dream world, you know?
Well, for everything, it's anybody but you. Like, I will be with anyone but you, Diane.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and this is where you get the Camila and I, and they kind of are both looking at each other.
They're laughing so much about it. Like, it's so strange.
It's so uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
But yeah, he says Camila and I are going to be, and then it just like ends. That scene.
Yeah. So I assume they're getting married.
Yeah.
Now we're at Winkies again.
Yeah.
We see the Betty server name tag.
And this is to me the prestige. This is where like
Yeah,
everything
for
comes
sure.
together.
The denouement, if you will.
Yeah.
The like whole clattering of the dishes for the transition is great too. We have a lot of really cool like sound led transitions that
That's
are
great. I didn't
really
notice that.
fun. Because even though now we're kind of more grounded, it still feels kind of dreamlike the way that we're moving between these
Well,
things.
he still has this book on like sitting in front of him, right? Like from the dream. Did you notice that?
Oh no, I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, he has the book.
Well, because maybe that part was real. Maybe like
I don't think. Well, maybe,
who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? And the thing with the blue key, right? That all feels very dreamlike still. And the way he gives her. So okay, well let's back up. So they meet. He wants her to, or she's trying to get Camila killed, and he's like, once you give me the money.
Gives him a headshot.
Yeah, once you give me the money, like, there's no going back.
Yeah,
Are you sure you want this? And she's like, I want this more than anything. And at some point, we see the waitress who has the Betty name tag, which again, just like
pretty early on in the scene, I think.
Yeah, everything getting tied together. And then the hitman gives her this blue key, and he's like, you'll find this where I told you. Or he doesn't give it to her. He says,
just
you'll
shows
find
it to
this.
her, yeah.
You'll find this where I told you.
And she says, "What's it open?" And he just laughs.
He starts laughing, right?
And we see the dude at the counter from before.
Yes, yeah. So putting him in that place and just like, yeah, the symbolism of it all. And then we get this like
The
the
red
scary
light is slowly flashing
Yeah.
as we move back to where we saw Garbage Man.
Yeah, Garbage Man is playing with the blue box out back.
Yeah, and then he puts it in a brown bag
yeah,
and drops it on the floor.
yeah.
And a miniature version of the old couple runs out of it going.
It hangs on this for so
They're like dancing
long. It's so unsettling, and
It's great. It's really good.
So there's like I think a bottle in there as well, or something, or like a bottle cap.
It's like the tab to a can.
And then it looks like there's some like flesh like behind there or something.
I thought it looked like there was like some like peanut butter in there.
Interesting. It looks
Or
kind of fleshy
something
to
goopy.
me. Yeah, goopy. Whatever it was, a piece of Garbage Man,
Well,
perhaps.
fleshy or goopy are two different things.
Well, like pulpy flesh, like muscle, like that's been ground up. You know.
Wow. Yeah, like meat wad.
Yeah, like meatwad. Yeah.
Meat wad.
Yeah. This part is just like, what the fuck, dude? The laughing old people running out of the bag, and then they crawl under her door in her apartment, and she just like starts running and
Well, that happens. Like it doesn't happen immediately. Like so, we have them run off. Then it cuts to
her.
the blue key on the coffee
That's
table.
right.
Diane is staring at it. It's super tense. Then you hear the knocking. Then the old couple, still tiny, crawls under the door, still laughing their asses off, and the laughing turns into like screams. What we assume is maybe the screams of someone being murdered, perhaps
or
Camilla.
someone finding her body or finding
and
Camilla's body.
And then the full-sized old people are now chasing her through the halls, and Diane is the one who's screaming.
And it's the lightning flashing, and
she runs into the bed and fucking struggles to find the gun and fucking shoots herself in the fucking head.
yeah, and like smoke releases, and it's just
Smoke everywhere, and then we see
I think the music like dies out here too, and it's just like silent.
There's a lot of silence in this, or like minimal droning, and then we see the creepy oily man. He appears for a second in the smoke.
That's right. Oh, we didn't mention the cowboy at the feast, but we did mention it earlier in the movie.
Yeah, we
but
did
yes.
mention that we saw. Yeah, it's the third time we see him.
Yeah, wild.
Get some more of that Los Angeles skyline.
Yeah,
and then we have like overlays of Camilla and Diane bathed in the white light. Camilla wearing the blonde wig.
I really felt a ton of emotion welling in me at this part. Just like the tragedy of what could have been, like the dream. Like there's so much human relatable stuff in here that like really just knocked it out of the park for me right here.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, it's like dripping with like just longing and like resentment as well, like kind of like, I mean the end is more pure, like this part feels so much more like longing and like the sweetness.
You know what it reminded me of? I'm not gonna spoil this, but Requiem for a Dream with the grandma and she's in the spotlight on the stage.
That's
at
his
the
mom.
End. Oh, yes, she's just old. Yeah.
I mean, she's not that old.
Okay, fair. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of that, and like similar feelings, this sense of loss, and like what could have been, what what the pure version of her could have been, right? The tragedy of mankind, really, I feel like is summed up well in a moment there. And yeah, we're back at the red curtain stage.
Club Silencio.
Yeah, Club Silencio. That's
We
right.
fade to Club Silencio.
And the lady with the blue hair is sitting in a chair.
It's just the stage is empty with just the
yeah.
microphone there. Blue-haired lady is still up in the balcony.
Yeah.
And she just says, Silencio.
That's the end.
Fade to black. Credits. And then we have the unsettling whale sounds over the end.
Oh man, I didn't see that. It started playing No Country for Old Men immediately.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, there's still like the weird groaning, like...
I even went back and like restarted it and like, okay, wait, hold on. Is there anything in the credits? No, okay, it's fine.
I was just playing like the weird droning noises. Yeah. But yeah, dude, what a fucking like wild trip. Okay. The thing I have that I think we should talk about before we get into tier rankings is apparently David Lynch, this is on IMDb. He has 10 clues to unlocking this thriller.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, would you like to hear them?
Yes, I would.
Well, you have to pay $5.
Oh, dang it.
No, I'm just joking. We don't have a Patreon yet. Okay, so pay particular attention to the beginning of the film. At least 2 clues are revealed before the credits.
Before the credits?
Before the credits.
Oh, okay.
Because we got the swing dancing and stuff, and then the credit, and then the bed and the pillow. Yes. The bed and the pillow. That feels like, that feels kind of obvious.
But that's after the credits.
No. There's a crowd cheering, the bright light on Naomi Watts.
No, it starts...
breathing, a bed. Dude, I have it written right here.
No, because it starts with because I have it written right here, droning music into jazz, and it's just the black credits flashing, and then...
I don't think so, man. I think the credits come after this part. There's like maybe like a black part with like the like where it says like Studio Canal and then it says the production companies, but then it's the purple with the people dancing and then you see the breathing, the bed, a pillow. It says like Mulholland Drive. You see a limo and then you start seeing credits. I think.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but there's definitely stuff before the credits. The second thing is notice appearances of the red lampshade, which we did. We talked about that.
So I think we're kind of nailing all of this.
We're kind of nailing it, yeah. Can you hear the title of the film that Adam Kesher is auditioning actresses for? Is it mentioned again?
I didn't catch this. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Yeah.
An accident is a terrible event. Notice the location of the accident.
Mulholland Drive?
Who gives a key and why?
Well, that's what I was asking. I don't quite understand that either.
Notice the robe, the ashtray, the coffee cup. The robe is, I think, the red thing that she covers her with. It's not actually a blanket. It's the robe was left with like a pin in it that says like, have fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, her aunt tells her to have fun. And then she like covers Rita in it.
Wow.
And then... what is felt, realized, and gathered at the Club Silencio? Which I think we talked about some of that. I think it is like sort of this real coming to terms with the like loss sort of moment because it's where everything kind of goes.
Well, that and just deconstructing this whole dream we've just experienced.
Yeah. And then did talent alone help Camilla? I think the implication throughout is no. I think Camilla maybe...
is a babe.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe, knew how to use, maybe knows how to be persuasive, let's say. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Use her feminine wiles to get her way.
I don't know about that. I mean, because again, it's also through her perspective. So that's an interesting question.
Yeah. Notice the occurrences surrounding the man behind Winkies.
Yeah. I would love to know more. Please, David.
No, well, he's saying notice.
I'm noticing, but what does it mean?
You gotta watch it another time. And then where is Aunt Ruth? And when I read this, and when you said, "Oh, the aunt being dead is so fucked up," and I'm like, especially with the box scene, where she gets sucked into the box, and then Aunt Ruth is just in the apartment, and it is like, I think it is. She's dead, right? Like Anyway, those are the 10 clues to unlocking this thriller.
Damn. I think we did pretty well. We at least, because it doesn't give you answers there, but I feel like we discussed most of those points. I pointed out that
coffee cup too. Also, she asked for the ashtray back at one point. She's like, "That's my ashtray."
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Man, Well, what a ride. I was not expecting to love this movie as much as I did. Because I had vague memories of it, and I thought it was going to be a cool, depressing watch, but I didn't expect much more of that.
Yeah, I'll give it an S.
I'm going to give it an S too. I was on the fence a bit.
Wait, S2, the sequel?
S2 coming this summer. I was going to give it well, it's always fun for me to be like watching a movie and like, okay, where am I at? Let me do like a vibe check. I'm at a B. And then I think it was like somewhere around the whole Hitman thing and like some of the like shenanigans after that. I'm like, okay, this might be an A if they could keep this kind of like the mystery with the humor and all this.
It's a wild balancing act.
Yeah.
Like much lesser movies. Like, yeah, it's very surprising they pulled it off, but it was awesome.
Yeah, and then by the end, I was like, damn, that really impacted me. And then after I finished it, I just like went and like sat on my bed for a while and just like thought, thought about life. Like not even like that sad, just kind of like
I put on some videos about like stoicism and just like,
yeah,
why'd she leave me?
It got me very reflective, but like in a like inspired way. Like, it's a tragic story. But I feel like there's a lot of like, it didn't have to be this way, and that got me reflecting on my own life. And yeah, it was really powerful. So yeah, S tier. I was blown away.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think really artfully done, awesome, really awesome synthesis of cinematography, editing, performance. The casting is out of this world.
Yeah.
All of the set design,
Yeah.
all of the costumes, everything is great.
Yeah.
I thought really, really awesomely executed. Yeah, I mean, I think this is maybe. I really want to watch through Lynch. This might end up being one of my favorites of his.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a lot of people's favorite of his. But I was just recently asking my friends, some other buddies, like, hey, what's a good show I should watch? And I couldn't really land on one. And I was like, oh, I've never seen Twin Peaks. And then this movie really made me want to watch Twin Peaks. And I was looking some stuff up, and apparently Twin Peaks was meant to be a kind of a spin-off of Mulholland Drive's universe a bit, but then they kind of retcon that. And as we talked about a little bit before the episode, you were mentioning, like, there are some overlapping things within it, and there's some stuff I've heard through the ether about it. So I think I'm going to give...
Mulholland Drive, I will say, is much more like that, like, sort of like madness and like, the fallibility of memory, of dreamlike. Twin Peaks is also very dreamlike, but feels much more sort of like diving into like esoterica and maybe like a cult.
Interesting. Well, I'm into that. But also what this movie really demonstrated to me is just how good at building tension and mystery David Lynch is. That's so much of Twin Peaks.
That's the whole like fucking like, yeah. Like I feel like I think I might have finished the show. I'll just have to rewatch it to make sure. But like, yeah, I mean, the whole time you're like, what the fuck is going on? But like, it's the kind of what the fuck is going on where you're like, you want to keep engaging.
Yeah, I'm into it. I loved it. Great shit. And next week we're watching another fucking just banger of a movie.
We already mentioned it.
We did. Can you
Pulp
guess?
Fiction.
Oh. Pulp Fiction, one of my all-time favorite movies. I'm so excited for Pulp Fiction. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good time. I'm excited to talk about it. Haven't seen it in a while, but probably one of the movies where I can kind of remember the beats really well.
Yeah,
just because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, me too. I've seen it a bunch of times. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it. Very excited. Should be a great time.
I'll be capping off the Movies Out of Order month.
That'll conclude, Movies Out of Order. And just to sort of set the scene, we haven't really talked about what's coming up in October very much.
Super spooky special surprise.
Let's fucking announce it right now.
Why don't we do it at the end of next episode?
Because next episode we're spinning the wheel.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we got to spin the wheel for November, right?
I thought we were going to do that at the end of October.
But we only have one category left.
Or do we? Dun, dun, dun.
We're doing zombies for October. I want to say it.
Okay, we're doing zombies. Spooky zombie time.
We're doing fucking zombies for October.
I'm very excited. Yeah, I love zombie movies.
Our idea is for years to come, we're going to spin the wheel, on certain months will be exempt, and we've decided that October will forever be a spooky category of some sort.
Yep.
That's whatever that specific spooky category is could be so many different things. But we thought it'd be fun to keep October spooky.
Yeah, and December we also got another special surprise, which
We do have another
very much
special
looking
surprise.
forward to.
November also kind of a special surprise because
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we only got one thing left technically, and 3 months left, so we'll see how it all turns out.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, that has been another episode of Cinema Forecast. Like, comment, and subscribe. I forgot to mention this, but on August 29th, my band put out a full-length record.
Hell yeah.
It is I joined the band after the first record came out. That's not actually true. I joined the band after they recorded the first record. I helped do some of the promo for the first record. But this is the first one that I'm on with them. It's called friggin' Kiss Unlimited. It's on streaming platforms. Please check it out. If you like heavy alternative rock music like post-hardcore Unwound, Built to Spill, bands of that ilk that I'm blanking on, maybe Slint, check it out. If you don't like that kind of music, check it out anyway. I'd really appreciate the support. But yeah, thank you all so very much. Thanks for listening. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, leave a fucking 5-star review. We'll check back on those in October, see how we're doing around that area. Maybe there'll be one to read, maybe there won't. But yeah, call your mom, tell your friends you love them, and
we'll see you in the forecast.
Winkies.